We are coming on the air with breaking news out of Washington.
Right now, officials in Kansas holding a press conference to talk about that deadly flight.
The plane was headed from Wichita to D.C. when it collided with that Black Hawk helicopter. Let's listen in.
Bullets fly like American Eagle. Airlines are lethal. I leave you where the skylights need you. Right on time, what I write draws a flight schedule for what lies beneath you. Hey yo, that's helicopters. Don't get intercepted by black helicopters. Copy that, Roger. As we dodge the Tommy Knockers and law officers. Incognito, carrying metal like Magneto. These shots sting like West Nile mosquitoes. Hypothermic needles laced with poison molecules used to inject people. Dead on arrival, breaking news titles, the article. No survivors, just a loud bang. Guess that makes it a God particle. For the bag, I'm ghost. Revenge is justified for most. Off into the smoke, I drip into the mist of Count Monte Cristo. I take charge like the head general Pope. Follow the 33rd runway up the road. Bed leads to Rome. Conspiracies I don't condone. The truth my oath, so I walk alone. No media propaganda can cause my prop gun to jam up. These pro-pagan damages, TMC with these cameras. Military plant amateurs. States collisions, explosion, look mannequin. Cali's up in flames. Since when this fire started? With when I'm prepared for war and these times we're in. What's with this pilot? Why was he dozing off and couldn't open his eyelids? All these sacrifices, why are the elite always silent? You'll find the answers if you study Osiris and the stars follow Orion. There's more to dying, don't let life be mortifying. I stand above the horizon, unterrified, just ducking lightning. The grand rising, my spacecraft is hard to identify with when I'm flying with no license. Objects are surprising, scientists are hiding information with the tyrants. I alarm fire hydrants as I'm wildin'. Match the Congress, it's the concept, map our conquest. Bomber jacket and a cigar lit for action. Keep your seatbelt fastened, the paper planes are crashing. It's tragic, everything that allegedly happened. Don't make it obvious, I know it was no accident. Alert the masses, my aerial assault is savage. Acting stupid like I got a steward's checking a stewardess. I'm out this bitch. I got a trip I can't miss. Damn, I'm running late. See you at the gate.
This is an all-out extreme emergency at Reagan Airport, and the water's just off of it here in Washington, D.C. We've now got confirmed reports that American Eagle Flight 5342, operated by PSA, it is a regional jet carrying between 50 and 100 people, from Wichita into Reagan Airport, was hit or was involved in a mid-air collision involving apparently an Army helicopter. That is reported to be a Black Hawk helicopter of some make and model.
This that new batch. We must pay homage to him.
Throughout history, certain names carry a weight that hangs heavy in the air. They are symbols, omens, burdens carried through time. Moloch is perhaps one that hangs heavier than most. His story is one of fire and fear, and of a price so steep it still chills the soul. But who, or what, was Moloch? Was he a god, a demon, or merely a dark reflection of humanity's willingness to sacrifice everything in the name of power? Moloch's reputation spans millennia, rooted in the ancient religions of the Near East. In the Hebrew Bible, he is condemned as a god worshipped by neighboring cultures who practiced child sacrifice. Over time, his image evolved from that of a deity to a demonic figure in Christian and occult traditions. To his followers, Moloch represented power and prosperity, but to his critics he was a symbol of depravity and corruption, a dark mirror reflecting humanity's worst instincts. In this video, we'll uncover the origins of Moloch, tracing his roots to the Canaanite pantheon and beyond. We'll explore the harrowing rituals associated with his worship, dissect his transformation from a god of ancient sacrifice to a demon of Christian law, and examine the modern myths and conspiracies that keep his name alive. As we delve into the depths of Moloch's story, one question remains: how much are we willing to sacrifice to gain what we desire most? The story of Moloch begins in the ancient Near East, amidst the fertile lands of Canaan and surrounding regions. These were societies deeply rooted in agrarian cycles, where the promise of abundant harvests and protection from calamity often rested on the favor of their gods. Early texts suggest he was revered as a god of fire, his essence intertwined with the scorching flames that symbolized both destruction and renewal. It was believed that only through offerings of great value could his favor be secured, and the cost was often unimaginable. Moloch's infamy is cemented in religious texts, most notably the Hebrew Bible, where he is portrayed as the god of a detested and forbidden practice. In Leviticus 18:21, the Israelites are warned, "Do not give any of your children to be sacrificed to Moloch, for you must not profane the name of your God." Deuteronomy 12:31 goes further, condemning the neighboring tribes who burned their sons and daughters in fire to their gods. These passages paint a grim picture of Moloch's worship, emphasizing the brutal act of child sacrifice as central to his rites. The imagery of flames consuming the innocent became a powerful symbol of corruption and idolatry. The figure of Moloch has sparked intense scholarly debate. Was he a literal deity worshipped by the Canaanites, or was his name a title symbolizing a type of ritual? Some scholars suggest that Moloch wasn't a singular god, but rather a representation of a specific form of sacrifice, with the term derived from the Hebrew word melech, meaning king, a word that means sacrifice in the closely related Punic language. Others argue that Moloch was personified over time, evolving into a feared symbol of human excess and depravity. Regardless of his origins, the name Moloch continues to evoke dread, embodying a dark chapter of ancient religious practices. Devotees believed that to gain Moloch's favor, they had to offer their most precious gift, their children. The sacrifices were carried out with grim ceremony, often amidst chants and prayers meant to drown out the cries of the victims. These acts were seen not as barbaric, but as sacred, a grim transaction meant to ensure the prosperity of the community. Moloch was thought to reward such sacrifices with bountiful harvests, victory in war, or protection from disaster. Central to Moloch's worship were the imposing bronze idols said to represent the deity. These statues were often crafted with outstretched hands, designed to cradle the sacrificial offering before it was consumed by fire. In some accounts, the hollow interiors of these idols were heated until they glowed red-hot, turning them into both symbols and instruments of destruction. Historical records describe rituals where the children were placed into the idol's hands, sliding into the flames below. The air would grow thick with smoke, the wails of mourners blending with the rhythmic chants of the priests. These rituals were not merely acts of devotion. They were spectacles of power, meant to display humanity's submission to the divine. The flames consuming the offerings were a grim reflection of the cycle of life and death, where destruction was required to pave the way for new growth. Moloch's worship was not just about appeasement, but about embracing the paradox of life's fragility and resilience, with the fire acting as a bridge between the mortal and divine. Moloch's rites were born from desperation. In a world plagued by uncertainty, famine, war, and disease, such sacrifices were seen as necessary to secure divine intervention. To these ancient people, Moloch embodied the cruel bargain of survival: appease the merciless forces of nature or suffer its wrath. His worship reflects the lengths humanity will go to in times of dire need, where even the unthinkable becomes a rational choice. Moloch's flames became a symbol of the human condition itself, caught between the fear of loss and the hope for prosperity. Moloch's transformation from a revered deity to a feared demon is a story shaped by time and theology. In the ancient world, Moloch was seen as a god of power and necessity, albeit one whose worship demanded horrifying sacrifices. However, as the Hebrew Bible condemned the practices associated with him, Moloch's image began to shift. By the time of early Christianity, he was no longer seen as a god, but as a demon, one of many fallen beings aligned with Satan himself. This demonization was a tool of moral and spiritual instruction, casting Moloch as a cautionary figure, a symbol of idolatry and human depravity. He became the embodiment of excess and corruption, his fire no longer a source of renewal, but of eternal torment. In the realm of demonology, Moloch has cemented his place as a high-ranking demon, often associated with greed, sacrifice, and corruption. His name is invoked in rituals of power and destruction, reflecting his origins as a force that demanded ultimate sacrifices. Demonologists describe him as a being of fire, wielding both physical and spiritual flame to consume and torment. He is said to tempt humans into acts of greed and betrayal, urging them to sacrifice their humanity for fleeting gains. In infernal hierarchies, Moloch represents the extreme cost of ambition, an eternal warning to those who seek power at any price. Conspiracy theories link him to secret societies and shadowy rituals, painting him as a patron of greed and sacrificial practices in the pursuit of power. In some occult texts, Moloch is invoked as a force of destruction, a being capable of obliterating obstacles in exchange for profound sacrifices. Meanwhile, in popular culture, his name is a shorthand for ruthless ambition, appearing in novels, films, and media as an archetype of unyielding greed and the loss of morality. Whether as a demonic force or a cautionary metaphor, Moloch's influence remains alive in both the spiritual and cultural imagination. His name appears in conspiracy theories, linking him to secretive rituals, shadowy elites, and the pursuit of unchecked power. Unlike his biblical condemnation as a demon or idol, Moloch has been reimagined as a symbol of the sacrifices made in the name of ambition, greed, and control. These narratives paint him not only as an ancient deity, but as a dark force still lurking in the corridors of power, a reminder that humanity's willingness to sacrifice remains as potent as ever. Perhaps the most infamous modern association with Moloch is the Bohemian Grove rituals, a highly secretive gathering of influential and political figures in Northern California. While officially dismissed as theatrical performances, the centerpiece of these rituals involves an owl statue, often attributed to Moloch, and a dramatic act involving the burning of a mock human effigy. The owl, a symbol of wisdom, has been reinterpreted as a stand-in for the ancient deity, sparking fears of occult practices among the global elite. These theories, fueled by leaked images and video footage, have made Moloch a haunting specter in discussions of power, secrecy, and morality. Moloch has also become a symbol of unchecked greed and corruption, often invoked in discussions of societal sacrifice. His name surfaces in political discourse, whether it's the exploitation of labor, environmental destruction, or the pursuit of wealth at the expense of morality. Moloch's fire becomes a fitting image for this modern greed, a consuming force that spares nothing in its hunger for more. In this context, Moloch's ancient rituals echo chillingly in the sacrifices made today for the altar of ambition. These modern interpretations of Moloch carry striking parallels to his ancient worship. Then, as now, people sought to appease forces they couldn't fully control, offering sacrifices in exchange for security, prosperity, or power. Whether through fire or metaphorical flames, Moloch's story reveals a timeless truth. The greater the ambition, the greater the cost. In both the rituals of the past and the systems of the present, the sacrifices may change, but the desperation remains the same. A reflection of humanity's enduring fear of losing what we value most. Are these modern stories about Moloch merely reflections of our deepest anxieties about power and corruption? Or do they hint at something far more insidious? A continuity of practices that have existed in the shadows for centuries. The truth may remain elusive, but one thing is clear. Whether myth or reality, Moloch's shadow stretches across time, heavy and unshaken, leaving an indelible mark on the human psyche. Moloch's shadow looms large over history, theology, and culture. From the ancient rituals of fire and sacrifice to his transformation into a demon of greed and corruption, his legacy serves as a stark reminder of the costs humanity has been willing to pay in pursuit of power and prosperity. His name has become a symbol of the ultimate price, one paid with innocence and life itself. Whether invoked as a warning against idolatry in sacred texts or reimagined in modern conspiracy theories, Moloch endures as a figure of fascination and fear. His story is not just one of the past, but a reflection of our ongoing struggles with ambition, morality, and the sacrifices we deem acceptable. Was Moloch truly a god, a demon, or merely a cautionary tale of humanity's darkest instincts? His legacy forces us to confront uncomfortable questions about the nature of power, sacrifice, and our willingness to submit to forces beyond our control. As we close this chapter, one truth remains undeniable. Moloch's story continues to hang heavy in the air, like a storm that never breaks. Thank you for joining us on this exploration of Moloch's dark and haunting legacy. This topic stirs complex emotions and questions. If you have insights about Moloch, we invite you to share them in the comments. We'd love to hear your thoughts. And if you found this discussion valuable, please like and subscribe to continue exploring history's shadowy depths together. Until next time, may the light guide you through the shadows of the unknown.
What a game it was. Now listen, the conversation this morning is strictly around the Chiefs and the refs. That's all it's going to be.
Again?
Josh Allen got the first down. Josh Allen got the first down.
Oh, no.
I would like to say that immediately upon seeing it, I thought Josh Allen got the first down. But then whenever the ref here on the near side, and I think it's very interesting because you see the far ref line judge and then the near ref line judge, they come in at two different angles. Okay, they're seeing two different things. Now, people are saying the far judge is the one that's going to see the ball. I don't think he can see anything because there's two people standing right in front of his face. Normally very difficult for these judges that are on the sideline to see anything, especially whenever it's a massive scrum. I personally believe Josh Allen got the first down. I also believe Dalton Kincaid on the play before got the first down. But whenever they call it on the field, not first down, then they go to review, and it's that much of a cluster, I think it was going to be tough to overturn. But boy, people did not care about that. This was the refs in the fourth quarter, whenever the Kansas City Chiefs were down, making a decision for the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, could that easily have been called a first down, and after review stayed with it? Yes. Now, after review, are they going to overturn anything at this? Probably not, is how it normally goes. The fact it worked out for the Chiefs, yet again, people say, how many coincidences we got to see before we start thinking it's a conspiracy? I even got people that are pretty high up in the world.
Okay.
High up in the world. Saying this is bullshit. This is absolute bullshit. I don't want to hear a single thing tomorrow on your show about that not being a first down. You better say the truth. You better stick up for what's real and what is a problem. The refs are working alongside Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, and Taylor Swift to get the Chiefs into the Super Bowl. I think that whatever was called on the field is going to get called in the review no matter what. Can you argue that Dalton got it? Yes. Can you argue that Josh got it? Yes. But to say they even went to a review and then they returned it, normally this type of thing is going to remain call on the field. That ref up there, though, pretty pigeon-toed.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, it's weird.
I don't know if I've ever seen, and maybe, I assume he's been doing this all year and we just haven't noticed. He had some sweet high-top J's on, too, with the white backs there. I appreciate that. But his right foot, he's got one of these.
Yep.
He's got one of these. I mean, he's coming in that son of a bitch sideways.
Parallel.
Like that, And normally you're spotting the ball with your foot. So I think we should talk about that. I think we should talk about that maybe for future. Maybe put him in a different spot.
Sure.
Because, when you're coming, I don't know.
Can't be making it
that's
right.
going to be tough for me. And then the catch, obviously. Xavier Worthy, whenever he goes up and snags that thing out of Bishop's hand and it hits the ground and they call it a catch, tie goes to the runner. Always has. In football, tie goes to the receiver as opposed to the defender. I think he had full possession of it. And when it hit the ground, you could obviously call it incomplete. And it's a massive play in the game and it's the Chiefs yet again. But it doesn't move when it hits the ground. Seems to be pretty sturdy. It's like, it's amazing all these things happen. And the Chiefs end up on the benefiting side of it.
Yeah.
Now, granted, the Chiefs don't care. Chiefs just won another AFC championship. And 5 times, I believe now, Patrick Mahomes is going to the Super Bowl in his 7 years as a starting quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah, crazy.
He is bananas. I hate the fact that the refs are always the conversation. Travis Kelce lead blocking for him here in the fourth to take the lead. Obviously, cinema. Like Travis Kelce, all-time leading receiver, the worst spike in the history of football potentially there by Patrick Mahomes, let alone AFC championship games and everything like that. But the conversation just being about the refs full time, I think is obviously something that's going to continue to happen for as long as they continue to win, especially with the calls that are taking place. But what we're witnessing here out of Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, in this Kansas City Chiefs team is awesome. It's a spectacle. Their special teams even showed up this week. Coach Tobe, the special teams coordinator, Hall of Famer. Coach Spags, defense coordinator, Hall of Famer. Andy Reid, anytime he's coaching or calling plays, he's a Hall of Famer. He's going to be great. So I think there's a lack of respect for the greatness because everybody just wants to pin it on something. But if you've been great for this long and you get some calls that go your way, people are going to hate it. We saw it with the Patriots. We're seeing it with the Chiefs. But all this team does is win, which is why I say the Chiefs is still the Chiefs. Now, if you want to believe that the Chiefs is only the Chiefs because of the refs, go ahead and believe it. Then you should bet on them in the Super Bowl.
For sure,
if you think that's going to be the case. Let's utilize it. If you think it's a conspiracy for them to win, go ahead and utilize it for your own personal gain if you can. But I think what Patrick Mahomes is able to do, what this Chiefs team is able to do, is win games. Josh Allen, phenomenal.
Did the refs just decide the fate of the Buffalo Bills season? Controversy is swirling around a critical fourth quarter call in the AFC Championship game against the Kansas City Chiefs. And Bills fans everywhere have a lot to say about it. Could this moment have cost Buffalo their shot at Super Bowl glory? Let's break it all down. Don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss the latest news and updates on our team. With the Bills leading 22-21 after a stellar James Cook touchdown, Josh Allen and the offense were rolling. It all came down to a pivotal fourth down quarterback sneak deep in Chiefs territory. The call? Allen was ruled short of the line to gain. But hold on, replays seem to suggest his second effort might have been enough. The officials didn't overturn the call, handing Kansas City the ball. And what happened next? Mahomes wasted no time, sprinting into the end zone and converting a 2-point play to put the Chiefs up 29-22. Social media exploded with accusations of bias, with some fans saying, "Here we go again." Mahomes gets all the breaks, but the Bills didn't give up. Josh Allen found Curtis Samuel in the back of the end zone to tie it up, keeping Buffalo's hopes alive. Unfortunately, the Chiefs marched down the field yet again to seal the game, and leave Bills fans wondering what if. This game will be remembered for years, both for the incredible plays by Allen and Cook and for the frustration of seeing the Bills come so close, only to fall just short. Whether or not the refs got it right, one thing is clear. Buffalo's path to the Super Bowl wasn't going to be easy, and every inch mattered. So, Bills Mafia, what do you think? Was this a bad call that cost Buffalo the game? Or should we focus more on the team's execution in those final moments? Drop your thoughts in the comments below.
Delay of game. Defense number 55. Making a move that's not necessary and like football.
Okay, so here's what happened.
It's a half a distance penalty.
They're going to bring the offense out.
Fourth down. Delay of game. Defense number 55. Making a move that's not necessary and like football.
Okay. So here's what happened.
It's a half distance penalty.
They're gonna bring the offense out.
Fourth down.
There it is. I told you. The NFL is rigged. In this video, I'm going to cover exactly what just happened and how the Bills got absolutely screwed by the Chiefs and the refs. Now, if you go check my other videos, I talked about this. I told you it'd be the Eagles and the Chiefs, the Super Bowl logo. This is not a coincidence, guys. It was red and green. Oh my God. Let's talk about this game here. If you're new to the channel, smash it, tap it, slap it. I'm looking to get Brian Toohey on the show. He's the author of The Fix It, who's divulged all this information. We have an in-depth conversation that lays out more details. So if you love the truth of sports, if you love talking about this, because everybody's fuming right now, especially if you're a Bills fan, dude, I'm fuming. I watched that game. I could not control the anger. Like, I'm literally pissed off, okay? So let's talk about what happened here. Now, I called this. Again, go watch my other videos. I talked about the Chiefs guaranteed to get in here because they want to push the three-peat narrative. And as soon as this game ended, you heard Tony Romo say, oh, three-peat, and you hear the announcer, oh, three-peat. Like, who would have ever thought? It was so obvious, guys. You got to see that this is fixed. It's rigged. It's not real. It's all just for show. It's a script. So let's talk about this game. First and foremost, guys, there was this one play call where basically the Chiefs fumbled the ball. The Buffalo Bills recovered the ball. It was their ball. Even the points were pointing in that direction. They're like, hey man, it's Buffalo's ball. And what happens? They turn it back around. It's Chiefs' ball. Luckily for that, after that, they fumbled again. The Bills got the ball and they won. They got a touchdown, not won the game. And then there was that big call for Xavier Worthy with the catch, which I think was an actual interception. He came down with the ball and it hit the floor. Now, some people are saying, well, he hit the floor. He still had possession. No, it hit the floor. He didn't have possession of the ball. It clearly hit the floor. Typically, 99.9% of the time, when a guy catches the ball, it hits the floor. It's not a catch. It hit the floor. He did not secure the ball. It hit the floor. It's obvious. It's in the video, and the call went in that direction, which led to a touchdown. And there was other small little calls that just kept adding up. Now, the big call that really changed the dynamic of the game and really gave the Chiefs the edge was the call at the end. Dalton Kincaid had a first down. That was first and foremost, right? They were driving. Second, and then it was 4th and inches or whatever. Josh Allen ran in, and you could see he's literally on the line. Go check my Insta. If you're not following my Insta, Fantasy Football Counselor, go do that right now. He's literally on the line, passing the line with the ball. It was a clear first down. They reviewed it and they gave it to the Chiefs. Guys, there were so many calls. Everything literally went against the Buffalo Bills. I told you, they absolutely had no chance to win this. In the comments below, let me know what you guys think. What happened here? Do you guys finally believe that the NFL is fixed? Because this was absolutely ridiculous. I had to do a reaction video here today because it was absolutely ludicrous what just happened, okay? Crazy, fixed, rigged. That's only a couple of the plays. Again, there was more and more. I can't even talk about it right now because my blood's boiling. But again, I called it. So I'm right. I don't want to be right, but I was right. Go watch my other videos for proof. Guys, I'm telling you, man, it was absolutely ludicrous. I had to come on here and talk about it. It's crazy. If you're a Bills fan, drop a comment below. I'm saying, man, that people should actually boycott the Super Bowl because this is crazy. And yes, the Chiefs will win the Super Bowl because they didn't get this far to only get this far, which I talked about, and the Bills had no chance, and now the Eagles have no chance, but Eagles will just be a better competitor than Washington was, and I called that as well. Anyways, let me know what you guys think. It was ludicrous. It was crazy. It makes your blood boil. That is it. It's fixed. It's 100% rigged. If you guys don't see it right now, you guys are completely lost. There you have it. Had to do a reaction video. My blood's boiling. I'm too angry to talk. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Hit the thumbs up. Turn on the bell. Looking to get Brian Toohey on the show. Man, oh man, was that absolute BS. Makes me livid. Let me know your thoughts. Drop it below.
Finish this line for me. 2024. Buffalo Bills will be
the Super Bowl champions. I think it's already scripted too. I think we've seen it.
Well, the scripts do go out. We have seen them. They've been handed out in multiple sports.
It's already scripted.
Was a wild
Is it scripted? Yeah, it was a leaked script that for the last 5 years.
Is it scripted? You played.
They leaked the script. They leaked the Super Bowl script 5 years ago, and they had the Broncos winning it. And then I think they had the Patriots winning the next one after that. Then they had Patrick Mahomes winning one.
27. How did you do this, Trevor?
Well, you couldn't write a crazier script. I mean, it's
27. How did you do this, Trevor?
Well, you couldn't write a crazier script. I mean, it's
last season. Finish this line for me. 2024. Buffalo Bills will be
the Super Bowl champions. I think it's already scripted too. I think we've seen it.
Well, the scripts do go out. We have seen them. They've been handed out in multiple sports.
It's already scripted.
Was a wild
Is it scripted? Yeah, it was a leaked script that for the last 5 years.
Is it scripted? You played.
They leaked the script. They leaked the Super Bowl script 5 years ago, and they had the Broncos winning it. And then I think they had the Patriots winning the next one after that. Then they had Patrick Mahomes winning one.
27. How did you do this, Trevor?
Well, you couldn't write a crazier script. I mean, it's
started last season when the NFL scriptwriters and I started last season when the NFL scriptwriters and I
27. How did you do this, Trevor?
Well, you couldn't write a crazier script. I mean, it's
when the NFL scriptwriters and I decided.
Aaron was telling me about how the NFL is rigged and how every year he used to get a script.
Yeah.
Day one of training camp that would get dropped off at his locker. Mm-hmm. So did you memorize those before the season started, or would you go and rehearse the script before every game?
We were really dedicated to it, so it was more so like that's what practice was about.
The NFL is scripted. If you don't believe me, look back at its history. Storybook endings, overcoming tremendous obstacles, unnecessary drama. The evidence is all here. Stop being so naive. Let's take a look at the NFL's most scripted moments. Tim Tebow versus the Steelers. If you're a believer in numerology, or maybe just a believer in the general sense, the scriptwriters penned a great one for you. In 2011, the Broncos caught fire in the middle of the season, switching out Kyle Orton for second-year Tim Tebow. The outspoken Christian quarterback whose unorthodox throwing motion and unparalleled determination made him a Heisman winner and national champion. His throwing motion also made you believe there was some type of CGI happening to make his ball seem catchable. After an 8-5 start where the Broncos benefited from timely plays like booming field goals from Matt Prater and successful onside kicks, the Broncos stumbled down the stretch, losing their last 3 games and barely eking out an AFC West title in a perfectly mediocre division. Enter the Pittsburgh Steelers, led by a godless, Philistine-esque quarterback and a fearsome defense that allowed the fewest total points and fewest passing yards in the NFL. It was apparent from the opening kick that this would be a game of surreal, movie-like coincidences. The fearsome Steelers defense put 8 men in the box and said, "Beat us." After a couple long connections with Demaryius Thomas, it was abundantly clear that Tebow was doing just that. The Steelers were able to tie the game before the end of regulation, and this wild-card matchup drifted into overtime. But not for long. On the first play of OT, Tebow fired a strike to Thomas, and one stiff arm later, the game was over. In storybook fashion. Tebow's unlikely upset of the Steelers might have been enough to convert some non-believers, but the scriptwriters tossed in some numerology that appealed to a wider Christian audience. In college, Tebow wrote John 3:16 on his eye black, a reference to a Bible verse from the book. Look, you know the verse. Probably. Tebow's final stat line in the wildcard game, 316 passing yards and 31.6 yards per completion. Not to mention CBS's ratings for the game were 31.6 and the Steelers possessed the ball for 31 minutes and 6 seconds. Is that a little too ham-fisted from the writers? A little on the nose? Probably not for the crowd that asked for the sequel, God's Not Dead 2, God's Revenge. This was, of course, what the writers came up with following the 2011 lockout, which was actually a writer's strike in disguise. Jerome Bettis' Super Bowl win in Detroit. This time, the writers helped the gold and black out. The Steelers, following a 15-1 season that ended in the AFC Championship, were a mere wild-card entry in the 2005 postseason. But before the season, 33-year-old running back Jerome Bettis mulled retirement, but was enticed into one last ride thanks to a promise from Ben Roethlisberger that he would take the bus to a Super Bowl. It probably went like some scene from Necessary Roughness. As luck would have it, Super Bowl 40 was set in Detroit, Michigan, Bettis's hometown. This took particular forethought from the writers who had to coordinate the Super Bowl bid with Bettis' retirement, but of course, they made it work. The Steelers would have to win 3 road games to get to Detroit, and surprise, surprise, they were able to do that. The road to Motown began in Cincinnati, where Kimo von Olenhoffen took out Carson Palmer's knee on the very first drive of the game. Apparently, the writers didn't tell Palmer this, and he was pretty pissed. A week later, the script called for some more tension when Bettis fumbled at the goal line, prompting Big Ben to make a game-saving tackle on Colts defensive back Nick Harper. Indy nearly came back, but the writers added in another plot twist, with the idiot kicker Mike Vanderjagt shanking a field goal at the buzzer, and the bus was headed to Denver for the AFC title game. Denver was the setting, of course, because it's the same city linebacker Joey Porter was shot in the ass in 2003.
They shot me in Denver. You will not!
Man, what a great line by the writers. Pittsburgh took care of Denver at Mile High, bullying Jake Plummer so hard that he turned to mushrooms in order to cope with the trauma. Then came Detroit. Against the Seahawks in his hometown, Bettis only rushed for 43 yards because the writers wanted to keep things more on the realistic side, but did make sure the refs called the worst game of their life, establishing a clear antagonist for Seahawks fans. The bus rode off into the sunset, that beautiful Motor City sunset with the abandoned factories digitally removed. Giants stopping the Patriots, 18-0.
These are the 4 questions you'll wish you asked before signing your first record deal. Number 1 is, what is the label's track record?
Giants stopping the Patriots, 18-0. The 2007 New England Patriots were a villainous juggernaut like we'd never seen before. After the writers wrote Randy Moss out of Oakland, he joined Tom Brady and Wes Welker to form a dominant attack that torched and embarrassed opponents. Enter the wild card Giants. Leading man Eli Manning didn't have the movie star good looks of Tom Brady, but he did have the script on his side in Super Bowl 42. You know, it's kind of like casting Pedro Pascal as the Mandalorian. You know, once you see him, it works. So why would the script writers choose to have the underdog Giants upset the mighty Patriots? Wouldn't it make sense to finally shut up Mercury Morris and the 1972 Dolphins? Nah, the moral of the story is that cheaters never prosper. The Spygate storyline established a clear antagonist during the 2007 season, and after public opinion swayed, the writer's room decided they must be stopped. So who was the real hero of the story? In one way, it was Eli Manning, but it was a wide receiver by the name of David Tyree, plucked straight out of central casting that would make the most iconic play of Super Bowl 42. Plaxico Burress, who got an early look at the script and leaked the outcome.
We're only gonna score 17 points? Okay.
Caught the game-winning touchdown, though he was disappointed to read that he'd have to shoot himself in the leg a season later.
Hi, I'm Plaxico Burress. Don't mess with handguns, because accidents do happen.
Mans does his own stunts though. I gotta respect that. Eli toppled Brady, Tyree posted up Rodney Harrison, of course Michael Strahan got to end his NFL arc before he was written off and joined Good Morning America, something he demanded would be written into the script before he came back. Also, Hair and Makeup won an Emmy for Tom Coughlin in the NFC Championship game. The Power Outage / Ray Lewis's last game. Ray Lewis is one of the most complicated characters that the writers could have ever conceived of. A star linebacker, a Super Bowl MVP, a devout believer, and oh yeah, that white suit he mysteriously had to get rid of. An idea that drew clear inspiration from the HBO dramas like The Sopranos and The Wire. But it would take a fairly unrealistic plotline to get Ray Lewis a Super Bowl victory in his final game. Joe Flacco had to suddenly turn into 1989 Joe Montana during the playoffs, where he more had to jump about 5 minutes early, allowing a last-second touchdown pass to Jacoby Jones, and the most ludicrous of all, the power outage. In the battle of Harbaugh versus Harbaugh, another plot wrinkle, the Ravens jumped out to a commanding lead at the Superdome in Super Bowl 47. The tension was fading away, the viewers were beginning to tune out, and the writers had to think of something quick. Out of ideas, they decided to invoke Duke's Ex Machina, and throw a couple circuit breakers, taking out some of the lights in the Big Easy, and giving the 49ers time to recoup and get themselves back into the game. After getting a script revision during the timeout, the 49ers leaned on their stars, Crabtree, Gore, and Kaepernick, who all scored, turning the game on its axis and shifting the Super Bowl from a blowout to a nail-biter. Fans all across the world were glued to their TVs, and not just for Beyonce. But despite the valiant comeback, the ending was set in stone. Ray Lewis had to get his, and Colin Kaepernick was made to overthrow a bizarre fade route to Michael Crabtree on 4th and goal, sealing the game for Baltimore. It was too much for Ray Lewis to win Super Bowl MVP, so Joe Flacco was given those honors, and the writers were given a cut of his 6-year, $120 million contract. And finally, the greatest, most easily scripted shit ever. The Fail Mary was scripted to get the refs back to work. It was going to take a masterful stroke of the pen to get the NFL out of one of its greatest pickles ever. When the refs went on strike at the start of the 2012 season, something unbelievable would have to take place to establish that the regular officials, as hated as they were indispensable members of the NFL cast. And it would also take something crazy in front of a national audience. Enter a rookie quarterback by the name of Russell Wilson, just beginning his underdog arc, a full decade before he would become public enemy #1 in Denver. It was a tight contest between the Packers and Seahawks in Seattle. Down to their last play, the elusive Wilson broke contain and heaved up a prayer to the end zone for Golden Tate. The pass was almost clearly picked off, but the replacement refs were told to take one for the team. And being grateful just to be there, they obliged. One ref signaled touchdown, the other signaled for an interception. Ultimately, they decided it was a touchdown. In a moment that caused many viewers in the Wisconsin market to turn their TV screens into Swiss cheese, the writers penned a beautiful plot twist that would force the league to ease up on their hardball negotiations, with the officials restoring order to the NFL. Dang, they did their boys a solid. Those writers really do get our asses every season. Brilliant job, you bastards. Well, I hope you enjoyed this film. I'm 5 Points Vids, and you made it to my next video.
What did you think when you got the script in 2016 that said your career was going to fall off a cliff when you stopped believing in God?
That was 2015.
Scripted, I promise you, I would have probably get about 3-4 Super Bowls already with a couple MVPs, some record-breaking storylines. It ain't scripted.
The NFL is scripted. Nobody handed me the script for the.
Everybody knows the NFL scripted.
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
If it was scripted, I promise you, I would have probably get about 3-4 Super Bowls already with a couple MVPs, some record-breaking storylines. It ain't scripted.
The NFL is scripted. Nobody handed me the script for the Super Bowl. We lost.
Our script was written. You know, the Baltimore Ravens going to the championship. The script was written. We just gonna see it play out.
But it's not scripted, man. I don't think the NFL is scripted.
It would take such a crazy mind to come up with the stuff that we see.
Man, I ain't seen the script yet.
If I had the answer, I'd say yes, but no.
Yes, I think the NFL is scripted. Shh.
Arian Foster recently said on a podcast, the NFL is scripted. So we decided to ask players, what was their script they got when they were drafted?
My script was that they told me that I was going to tear my ACL my rookie year, and I was actually kind of mad when I saw that, you know? Like, I read my script, and it said, listen, you're going to tear your ACL the last regular season game. And I was sad, because that means I missed the Super Bowl and wasn't able to play it.
My script, it was pretty long. I didn't know if I was going to make the league because, you know, trying to learn something like that was pretty tough.
Say, my script been pretty crazy because this is my 4th year in the NFL, and I've been to 3 Super Bowls. So when I walked in of day one, they was like, this what they handed me. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna take that one right there. Yeah, I'm gonna take the 3 appearances in full. I mean, my script was supposed to be making $100 million, but it didn't happen that way, so they lied to me.
Welcome back into Breakfast Ball, 4th down and 1. The little tush push right here. Josh Allen looked like a first down, called not.
Ball reversed over to the Kansas City Chiefs. Did not convert there. Xavier Worthy also on that 4th down, or that was the 4th down, but here's the 3rd down and 5. Xavier Worthy making the big-time catch over the top. Ruled a catch by Xavier Worthy and the Kansas City Chiefs. So what role, Craig, did the refs play in Kansas City?
Well, unfortunately, a significant role. And I want to be very clear before I get attacked online, which I know is going to happen anyway, because it's going to be edited in a manner that doesn't include this.
Hold on a second.
Yeah.
Hold on a second.
Yeah, go ahead.
I got outvoted, Greg. I didn't think they should have been in the show. I think that there was no impact. There's an impact in every game by refs. Miles, please.
What is
if
this
I
now?
If I deem your commentary to be inappropriate during this segment, you have to wear a tinfoil hat.
Okay.
So, Greg, we know what you're going to say.
Yeah.
So you have to wear a tinfoil hat.
Thank you.
Greg,
You look like the Tin Man.
Greg and Snake, I have one. I have a tinfoil hat ready for you.
Yeah.
If I deem your referee commentary to be inappropriate and disrespectful to the Chiefs.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to need one.
I was
Get
gonna
rid of
say,
mine.
were you ready to wear one yourself?
No, I had 4 made out of an abundance of fairness. Okay?
I have no problem rocking it
So there you
because
go. Go ahead.
the officials absolutely played a role in the outcome of this game. Started with 3rd down. 3rd down pass to Dalton Kincaid right at midfield. I think he reaches out and gets the 1st down. The referee marks him short. Here's a play right here. 3rd and 3. Bang. Where's the ball? At the marker. The ref goes, no, you didn't get the 1st down. Now, I'll give you this. Sean McDermott has got to ask for a measurement there or a replay. Even he didn't ask for either. So now we go to 4th down. One more time. 3rd and 3. Kincaid. Bang. 1st down on the 40. Let's rock. They don't get the 1st down. So now let's go to the 4th down play. Now, I will tell you that the Bills take some responsibility because the guy pushing Josh Allen is Shakir. He's a $180 soaking wet. Where's the big Mama Luke's behind him, pushing him to get the extra 6 inches? That being said, I thought he got to the 40. All you need is the tip of the football to hit the 40, and it's a 1st down. The referee on top goes 1st down. The referee on the bottom goes no 1st down. Somehow, it went to review. New York dilly-dallies about it, and then they go, as called, not a 1st down, Kansas City ball. How can you say the refs did not play a role in the outcome of this game? Bills are up 1, just over 12 minutes to go, and they're driving for a touchdown that would have put them up a minimum of 8 points if they went for 2, which they shouldn't have, but they're stupid. They would have gone up by 9, and now you're talking about a 2-score game with under 12 minutes to play. And then there's the Worthy play that you guys just showed us. So everybody goes up for the ball. The Bills defender gets the ball first. Somehow, some way, the refs at New York don't see that the ball clearly hits the ground on the way down before this definitive possession by Xavier Worthy, because the Bills quarterback's got the ball first. Worthy winds up with it, not disputing that. But how do the referees at New York decide that that is clearly Bills' possession? Next play is a touchdown, and the Bills can't win the game. The referees played a significant role in the outcome of this game, and that's a shame, because outside of that, it was a great football game.
Yeah. So on that play right there, the ball clearly hit the ground. I
Thank
thought it
you.
was impressive though. Regardless, both players had possession of the ball, but the ball didn't move, Craig. Like
He doesn't possess the ball until after it hit the ground.
The ball literally did not move.
But
I don't even know how the ball didn't move, but it did not move at all.
But he doesn't have possession of it, clear cut. I don't dispute that with you. The ball really doesn't move.
So, but
he doesn't have possession of it.
But when you talk about the ball hitting the ground, what you're then saying is you only were able to catch the ball because
off the ground.
Exactly. But the ball isn't moving prior to. Look at the ball isn't even moving.
If I throw you a 1-hop, might be good for a shortstop, not good in the NFL. I'll get it moved or not. The ball hit the ground before he possessed it.
I think there's possession with both the DB and the wide receiver. The ball hits the ground, it never moves. So for me, like that. The play calls it. Dalton Kincaid, I don't know where his knee was before he reached for the ball, so I don't know if he's down short of that. And on the 4th down and 1 call, although it looks like a 1st down, you never could see the ball in the replay, and you can't overturn that call. Bottom line for me is the Buffalo Bills got the ball with 3:33 left with an opportunity to either kick a field goal for a tie or put it over the end zone, put it in the goal line for a touchdown, and to win that football game, and they couldn't get it done. When the Chiefs have that same opportunity, guess what? They win every single time. The Buffalo Bills, all I wanted, the Buffalo Bills to have an opportunity to win that game at the end. They had it. They got the ball with 3:33 left, and they couldn't execute to win that football game.
I'm with
gain
you.
a yard.
I am with you both. Gain a yard, right? You can't gain a yard, you can't expect to win.
Right.
I go to a Super Bowl. I'm with you, and I'm with you, assuming you agree with them. I'm with all three of you guys, all right? But they wouldn't have been in the position they were forced into, trailing with 3:33 to go, if the referees did their jobs.
Officiating is hard. In the Eagles-Commanders game, Saquon Barkley there's an unnecessary roughness for a late hit on a 230-pound running back when he's hit by a cornerback when his foot grazes the white paint within a millisecond. Yeah. That's a ridiculous call. Yes. But it's a 30-point game and it was the Eagles, so nobody cares. The missed face mask on the Chiefs player in the third quarter of the game. There were 6 penalties called on Buffalo. There were 5 called on Kansas City. It's a tough sport to officiate. There's replay assist. There's challenges. It's going to happen. Every game has some sort of impact by officiating. If you watch that AFC Championship game between 2 first-ballot Hall of Famers, just heavyweight fight, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. 1 turnover in the game, crazy big plays, unbelievable execution, high-scoring game, and you came out of it being like, I don't know, I thought Cleet Blake was the story. Then you missed a great game.
By the way, on that 4th down and 1 where they don't convert, they had not really executed the tush push in the entirety of the game.
They
were
stuck
off.
on it.
The Bills, they were not very good in this particular game. And the one 4th down one of the 4th downs he did convert was out of shotgun. When he ran, he backed over the goal. So I'm like, change the play. Do something else. Like that. This is clearly not working.
No tinfoil hat for you. No tinfoil hat for you. And shockingly, all sorts of tinfoil hats for you.
Well, some people call them hats. Some people,
I'm sorry. I shouldn't have given it.
Well, after correctly predicting the last 5 Super Bowl winners, NFL insider and co-host of Good Morning Football, Peter Schrager, revealed his Super Bowl prediction.
See, the NFC, in my eyes, has just only 6 to 7 teams that can legitimately make a run this year. The team I'm selecting to represent the conference has all the pieces that I love in a Super Bowl contender. They have an ascending quarterback. They have emerging stars on both sides of the ball. And they have just enough playoff experience that they could say they've been there and done that. They also have a coach with something that his peers have that he does not on their resumes. The NFC will be represented by...
Wow.
Let's go. Jordan Love, Matt LaFleur, and the Green Bay Packers. The Packers are going back to New Orleans where they won a Super Bowl 28 years ago. And who will they face? Well,
hey, here we go.
They're going to face the same team the Packers franchise faced in Super Bowl I. They're the most dominant team of this era, and they are a squad that has helped define a generation of football fans. They're facing the Kansas City Chiefs. You know, since the merging of the AFL and the NFL, no team has won 3 Super Bowls in a row, ever. 8 different teams have tried. The Packers are going to be a mighty opponent. They're going to come in red hot. And I don't see a three-peat happening. No, I don't. Because three-peat, that term has been used time and time again, and if I'm being honest, it is not fitting for a team as historic and as unique and as incredible as this one. It's simply not dignified or special enough a term. Three-peat, get that out the window. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of Super Bowl 59, and doing so against the winners of the first 2 Super Bowls ever, will be the team that completes the Chiefs. The Chiefs peat. 3 in a row.
Remember, he's got the last 5 right, and he says the Chiefs. Well, this is how Opta sees the year playing out. In a simulation of the season, Opta has given the San Francisco 49ers the best chance of reaching the Super Bowl by a significant margin. They're followed by the Chiefs and Ravens in the AFC. The Packers have the 2nd best odds to reach the Super Bowl in their conference and 4th overall after their impressive end to last season.
Go. Takes the snap. Uh-oh, running out of time. A lot of pressure. Just has to heave it up there, and it is dropped. It is incomplete. They pick up the flags? I don't see anything now. They showed the marker. Allen had no time to throw. He gets hit immediately. Oh, man. Yup, it's Chiefs ball. 3rd down and 9. Mahomes, he's gonna throw. So if it's incomplete, dumps it off. Oh, boy, gotta make this tackle. Gotta make it. Nope, easy 1st down. The Chiefs are going to the Super Bowl. The Chiefs are going to the Super Bowl. They had one more chance there to stop it. It is heartbreak once again for the Buffalo Bills. And the Kansas City Chiefs will be going and attempting a three-peat in just a couple of weeks.
Second down and 10. There's St. Brown. Head of steam. Touchdown, Detroit. Wow. And they're within a point. And the call has already been made by Dan Campbell. They are going for 2 in the win. Comes in. Play action. End zone. There it is. Unbelievable. What else can be?
think the NFL's scripted? You think I really would have played along with the script that had me losing to Peyton's little brother Eli twice in the Super Bowl?
We have been invited to a highly exclusive event. We will be spending this Sunday evening at our neighbor Sean's superb owl party.
Vampires have huge respect for owls. 1, they're nocturnal. 2, they're predators. And 3, they don't give a hoot where they dump their scat.
The party we're going to is celebrating the superb owl, who is the greatest owl of all time. Do you think we're going to get to touch its little beak?
Depends what mood he's in.
Yeah, I know it's a Super Bowl party, but I tried to correct them and they wouldn't listen.
That's the owl's egg.
Also, I didn't try all that hard.
I have completely forgotten that when a human takes a mate, the mate keeps growing and changing and aging. Can I ask you all, my ladies, you are all such strong, beautiful, vicious, vibrant women. How did you all end up married to such boiled potatoes?
Oh, great. Another owl. Maybe next time you should proofread your invitations before you send them.
Young man, that's a superb owl.
Thank you.
I am amazed at how many of my friends have access to owls. Hey man, that better not be a...
What's up, smart people? Joe here. It's time for the big game. You know the one, the game with the guys on the field, the pads with the ball. You know. PBS Sports presents the Superb Owl. There's been one team in the Bird League this year that's been dominating the rest. We're talking skill, agility, speed, the ability to fly, and enormous talons at every position. Ready to get owl up in your grill? Let's meet the team. On the ground or in the air, these guys are deadly. Okay, maybe not with an actual football, maybe more like a mouse. Owls need sensory superpowers because they've got to be efficient hunting machines. A barn owl could easily have 7 owl babies, each needing to eat 5 mice a day. We got the big eaters in there. And since they only hunt at night, our stat computers tell us that's 6 hours to gain 35 mice. To make the most of every play, you've got to be able to see the field. Luckily, relative to body size, owls have gigantic eyes. Maximum visual sensitivity in low light. Owl peepers are so big, regular spear-shaped eyeballs like ours wouldn't leave any room for bird brains. Their solution? Tubular eyes. Larger eye opening, and it keeps your skull small. That's a win-win, baby. But the drawback of tubular eyes means you can't move them in your sockets. But luckily, owls can go full exorcist. They can rotate their heads around up to 270 degrees. Now, great vision is one skill, but these guys are the total package. When it's too dark to see, they pull a special page from their playbook. Their owl ears. Except those aren't actually ears. Their whole face is an ear. Owl faces may look flat, but that's a feathery fake out. This is rough. Facial rough. Let's take apart this key to the game. The ruff has 2 different types of feathers. You got your guys in the middle here to protect the face and eyes, and these guys out here on the edge, they can move either way. They reflect sounds towards a couple asymmetrically placed receivers. These guys hit the perfect angle to create super hearing. Talk about a hoot. Their face is basically a sound collecting radar dish. Their hearing's so good they can even hunt mice underneath the snow. Focus on the sound, swoop in, it's game over. Now, rounding out the total skill package, owls evolved silent flight. Just look at that wingspan! When you've got big flappers compared to your body size, you can fly slowly and create less noise. The front edge of that wing is serrated to dampen the sound. It's like velvet, baby. While the front edge is laying out lead blocking on the passing air, the trailing edge has a fringe texture that means less drag, all speed. You hear that? Me neither. You don't have to be Albert Einstein to see these guys are basically perfect stealth flying machines. We've got engineers studying them to figure out how to make quieter planes and drones, which is terrifying. When they hit pay dirt, they swallow their food pretty much whole. Then what goes down comes back up a few hours later, basically a well-preserved pack of undigested bones and fur. Now that's disgusting, but useful. It can give you a play-by-play of what species the owl ate. Now when scientists find old preserved owl pellets, they can study how small mammal communities changed over thousands of years. It's a whole history recorded in owl food. Owls may not have the passing ability of a guy like Tom Brady, but when you can see and hear the field like that, superb owls are champs. Stay curious, and don't miss our halftime show, Dead Mouse.
Hey guys, if you enjoyed this look at one of my favorite animals, take a second and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a single one of our videos. And if you want to take an up-close look at how owls hunt so stealthily, click right here and check out this awesome video from our friends over at Deep Look.
There you go. Give me one more. Ah! Come on. 2 more. Just like that. You ready? Exactly. What the deal, everybody? My name's Kendrick Lamar, and I'll be performing at Super Bowl 59. Will you be pulling up? I hope so. You know it's only one opportunity to win a championship. No round twos. Let's get it. Boom! I won't want you to miss it. Meet me in New Orleans, February 9th, 2025. Wear your best dress too, even if you're watching from home. Let's go. Yay! That's what I'm talking about, man. Now we can get to it for real. Come on, you gotta make sure you catch it with the hands open like that. We running real routes, you gonna be messing up. Now I've been thinking about a guest performance. It's something that I always dreamed of for sure.
It's official. Kendrick's bringing at least one friend to the Big Easy.
Kind of insane. Very fever dream-esque.
You know, this field a lot bigger than what people think.
The new 30-second promo that dropped at noon today shows Kendrick on the phone, walking the field. The Compton native stunned as SZA surprises him with a blue Gatorade bath. They go on tour together in April.
You been a girl.
SZA just made her acting debut in One of Them Days. Her co-stars riff about her big halftime moment with E.T.
You know what I'm looking forward to? Kendrick at the Super Bowl. You think our girl gonna perform with him?
If she doesn't, then he's doing it wrong.
Like, why would she bring us out? And then maybe she'll bring us out.
Other possible halftime collabs, Tyler the Creator and Travis Scott.
I get those goosebumps every time.
But the big question, will Kendrick perform this? Kendrick's Grammy-nominated Drake diss track, Not Like Us, is now at the center of a defamation lawsuit. Drake is suing Universal Music Group, claiming the song falsely accuses Drake of being a pedophile.
Trying to strike a chord and it's probably A minor.
The halftime show airs February 9th on Fox.
Let me tell you about my life.
And if Kendrick seems chill...
Yeah, everything's smooth. I'm on the field right now.
Well, he's done halftime before, performing at the Super Bowl 3 years ago alongside Mary J. Blige, Snoop, Eminem, and Dr. Dre.
It's just a privilege just to be recognized for your work.
And the big game is in our backyard. Patriots, Rams, Super Bowl 53, right here in Atlanta. Cannot wait. All right. Well, before you announce your Super Bowl party at your church, there's a couple things you need to know about that word I just used. Super Bowl. Yeah, that's right. And it's in that spirit that Jerry Carnes is connecting the dots between the big game and a wise old owl.
The defending Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles won't be in the big game here in Atlanta. Still, the Super Bowl will involve another kind of bird. Here's the connection between the Super Bowl and owls. The term Super Bowl is trademarked by the NFL. The league doesn't allow anyone to use the term in advertising or promotions without permission. That permission comes with a fee. In 2007, the NFL warned an Indiana church not to use the term Super Bowl in advertising a viewing party. It has led to the creation of the term Superb Owl. Comedian Stephen Colbert reworked the letters in Super Bowl to give his television audience superb owl coverage beginning in 2014. During last year's game in Minneapolis, the city's public transit system used the term to promote a charity event. At first, observers thought it was a misspelling. Don't be surprised if a superb owl shows up to guide us toward the game here in Atlanta.
I'm ready for the superb owl.
Superb owl.
Yeah.
Never look at Super Bowl the same ever again. We'll be back with more Morning Rush.
I'm ready for the superb owl.
Superb owl.
Yeah.
Never look at Super Bowl the same ever again. We'll be back with more Morning Rush.
It's a hot day on the Dutch savannah. A six-pack of Altia Super... It's a hot day on the Dutch savannah. A six-pack of Altia Superb Owl non-alcoholic IPA beers is chilling in the shade. But there's danger. A pride of businessmen is on their lunch break, and they're thirsty. The non-alcoholic beers sense danger. Nervously, they look around. The six-pack stampedes off. A deadly race has begun. Amidst the chaos, one of the cans gets separated from the pack. This could be a fatal mistake. A large female grabs the can and takes it to the ground. The non-alcoholic beer doesn't stand a chance. After a short struggle, it's over. Their thirst quenched, the businessmen return to their office. A crushed can is all that's left. But the pack can't mourn for long. An all-female hockey team is on the prowl. Life isn't easy when you're a nice, tasty, non-alcoholic IPA.
A Super Bowl mistake or just brilliant marketing for the Superb Owl fundraiser. A Super Bowl mistake or just brilliant marketing for the Superb Owl fundraiser. A Super Bowl mistake or just brilliant marketing for the Superb Owl fundraiser. Take a look at the picture behind me. Train cars wrapped for football's big game appear to say Superb Owl 52 because of how the words are split between the two train cars. Well, freelance journalist Carly Kantz tweeted the photo yesterday afternoon. It was liked and shared by thousands of people, but it turns out it's photoshopped and not a plug for an actual event in Minneapolis this weekend called Superb Owl. A tweet this afternoon shows the original photo and gives credit to the Photoshop artist who gave us Superb Owl. I guess there's only one thing left to say, gotcha.
Of course, the Super Bowl is the biggest day of the season for football fans. But did you know that Super Sunday means something else to those who love birds? Many will hit the outdoors, binoculars in hand, in search of a very special bird, the Superb Owl. Photojournalist Carl Backel has more on this growing phenomenon.
The stadium is ready and the final practices are underway. But not all will be watching the Super Bowl. They'll be searching for the Superb Owl.
That's kind of like a big treasure hunt for people to finally find an owl in the wild.
Ryan studies the rare spotted owl out west. Here in Ohio, owls abound, if you can find them.
They blend in so well. So you could be out there and thinking you're not going to see them or they're not there. And then
boom, there it is. Diana and her sister spotted this barred owl. You might see great horned owls, long-eared owls, along with barred, screech, and saw-whet owls. Two winter migrants to our state are the beautiful short-eared owl, these images captured by Chaley Ingold, and snowy owls have returned as well. They are all truly superb.
It's one of those things to where you feel a sense of accomplishment after you see one. And then if you get a good picture, you get to remember that feeling of sitting back and saying, I did that.
Superb Owl Sunday is growing in popularity across the country. There's just something about him.
Not to sound corny, but it's pretty magical, you know?
And then it's like, oh my gosh, there he is.
Anyway, owls are much more important than football.
I mean, in the end, can you tell me who won the Super Bowl from 10 years ago? Probably not. But what you will be able to tell me is that first moment you saw the snowy owl for the first time.
Very true. In Cleveland, Carl Bactel, 3 News.
I've traveled to a lot of places in the United States, and I've recorded absolutely everything, whether it be nature, wildlife, strange anomalies, etc. But every day, when the sun goes down and the moon rises, there's an animal that's piqued my curiosity for years, and it's an owl. Now, over the years, I've posted videos about owls, and everybody always reminds me that they're evil, that they're tied to the Illuminati, etc. Well, that isn't my fascination, but I'm going to explain to you why the Illuminati, or the elites, use the owl as their symbol. And if you want to see what that answer is, you're going to want to sit back, you're going to want to relax, and you're going to want to check this out. Is entranced with the owl, we'll call it. Others have quite the interest in it, and it goes back thousands of years, and I'm going to take you down that road right now. According to historians, 30,000 years ago in the Chevat Cave in southern France, this image was drawn into the side of a cave. And ever since, owls have been used in Hollywood, owls have been used by the occult, owls have been used by the elites. They're always considered scary. They're always hard to find because they're at nighttime. I've gone to great lengths, and yes, many places that I've gone searching for owls are rather spooky. It is what it is. They like to be alone, they're pretty much solitary, and they hunt for animals that don't usually come out when people are around. So you usually find them in cemeteries, abandoned barns, by the ocean, large fields, and I've gone to all these places, and I've gone to great lengths to find these things. I've traveled the bayous looking for owls, and found them. And it was awesome. I fell in quicksand, but it is what it is. I've traveled through the desert searching for burrowing owls. I've put in some serious mileage. I've even built lean-tos so I could stay the night and try to blend into the environment, and it did work. You'll find owls where you won't find anything else. Put it that way. But the whole point of this video is the elites. People that are the elites, people that run the world, run countries, run presidents, have been worshipping and utilizing the owl for time immemorial. And I'm going to explain all that to you. Going all the way back to the earliest human records and the earliest human maps and writings, owls have been held sacred by every country in one regard or another. In Abyssinia, the Hamites held the owl to be sacred. In Afghanistan, the owl gave man flint and iron to make fire. In exchange, man gave the owl his feathers. Central Africa, the owl is the familiar of the wizards to the Bantu. Southern Africa, the Zulus know the owl as the sorcerer's bird. In Australia, Aborigines believe bats represent the souls of men and owls the souls of women. Owls are therefore sacred because your sister is an owl, and the owl is your sister. The Aztecs believed one of the evil gods wore a screech owl on his head. In Babylon, owl amulets protected women during childbirth. In Brittany, an owl seen on the way to the harvest is the sign of a good yield. In Burma, during a quarrel among the birds, the owl was jumped upon, so his face was flattened. In Cameroon, too evil to name, the owl is only known as the bird that makes you afraid. The Celtic, the owl is a sign of the underworld. In China, the owl is associated with lightning because it brightens the night, and with the drum because it breaks the silence. Placing owl effigies in each corner of the home protects it against lightning. The owl is a symbol of too much yang, positive, masculine, bright, active energy. In Greenland, the Inuit see the owl as a source of guidance and help. Hawaii, owl features in old war chants. The Incas venerated the owl for its beautiful eyes and head. In Iran, in Farsi, the little owl is called Johedbe Kokek. It is said that this bird brings bad luck. In Islam, it's forbidden to eat. That also holds true in the Christian Bible as well. In Ireland, an owl that enters the house must be killed at once, for if it flies away, it will take the luck of the house with it. Israel, in Hebrew lore, the owl represents blindness and desolation and is unclean. Jamaica, to ward off the owl's bad luck, cry salt and pepper for your mammy. And it goes on and on and on. Every single country has some folklore, some curse, some luck associated with the owl. Owls fly at night. They're nocturnal. They fly silently. Their ability to catch prey, even when they can't see it, is almost mystical. It's almost amazing. It is amazing. And for the casual onlooker, owls can seem downright alien. For instance, listen to this. And when you tie all these things together, it's easy to see why every country on Earth, every culture has a story about the owl. Like this, for instance. Lechuza. The legend of La Lechuza is the one that can be heard all over Mexico. It is said that a lechuza, or owl, specifically a white owl, is a bruja, or a witch, that has taken its form in this owl. Now, there are small owls that are believed to be witches, but the legend of La Lechuza is a giant owl. Some say it's white. It's 7 feet tall and has a wingspan of 15 feet. And although it is an owl, it is said to have the face of an old woman. This specific lechuza has been reported only in Chihuahua, Coahuila, Durango, Nuevo León, and Tampiales, and in the Rio Grande Valley of Texas and California, especially Southern California. Legends say that the cry of the lechuza mimics the cry of a baby or whistles to lure you outside, much like a harpy or a siren song. Now, for the brevity of this video, I'll leave links below. If you're interested in this, I'll leave links to the entire story. But for the video's sake, we're trying to keep it fairly short. But the owl is one of the first things to ever be discovered carved in stone. One of the first things. And it's still venerated and worshipped to this day in this country, the United States of America. Pretty much in plain sight, but most people don't see it. So here we go, the meat and potatoes. Weaving spiders come not here. That is a label or a placard you'll find all around Bohemian Grove. A club that allegedly didn't exist until it did. The phrase, weaving spiders come not here, was referring to reporters. Do not report on what we do here. Period. And it stood for a long, long time, until social media. For almost 100 years, the elites of this world enjoyed meeting at the Bohemian Grove, undetected, unmolested, unreported. Presidents, ambassadors, senators, CEOs, many times in conflict with laws protecting American citizens from their presidents meeting with people they're not supposed to be meeting with. It all went unreported, unnoticed.
Originating during the French Revolutionary days. You know, there we had the actual Order of the Illuminati, with Adam Weishaupt and all of his evil philosophers, let's just call them, Voltaire and the others. And that has come up all the way to today. Hitler, of course, was a Bohemian. I think it's more Babylon mystery religion. All of the elements are there. Of course, even the owl is a symbol of ancient mystery Babylon. The owl was worshipped by the ancient Egyptians and by the Babylonians. And it's interesting to me that many of the members of the Bohemian Grove have in their homes, as I understand it, small figurines of owls.
So what exactly is their fascination with the owl? Throughout medieval history, the owl was associated with evil because it was active at nighttime, which was considered dangerous times of the night. However, the Illuminati considered it a guardian who stands alert so others can rest through the night. It's seen as a totem representing wisdom, its eyes ever watchful for the morning to approach and for the guiding light to re-emerge over the horizon. Another attribute they admired was the owl's ability to see completely in the dark, enlightened. And this brings us to Moloch, this happy little fella. Evidence concerning Moloch worship in ancient Israel is found in the legal as well as in the historical and prophetic literature of the Bible. In the Pentateuch, the laws of the Holiness Code speak about giving or passing children to Moloch. Throughout antiquity, sacrifice might have been utilized in times of great strife, but one cult stands out from the rest for its brutality, the cult of Moloch, the alleged Canaanite god of child sacrifice. The cult of Moloch or Molech is said to have boiled children alive in the bowels of a big bronze statue with the body of a man and the head of a bull. Offerings, at least according to some inscriptions of the Hebrew Bible, were reaped through either fire or war, and it's rumored that devotees can still be found to this day. And for people that might think this is all stuff that's way back in the old days, it's all tales from the Bible, well, many years ago, a YouTuber allegedly snuck in to Bohemian Grove. Now that's not possible because the Bohemian Grove has Secret Service. It has all the top-notch security that's afforded to a president, an ambassador, a senator, a CEO, etc. But nonetheless, it appeared at the time that the men running this place wanted people to know what they were doing because that's how they operate. At any rate, here's the video footage of the man that actually snuck in here and stood and watched them in front of their giant owl deity named Moloch, doing what's called the cremation of care. Let's pop a little disclaimer in. No matter what you or I think about the man that actually got this video, it doesn't make any difference because the video is still actually real. I don't believe he snuck in, I believe he was invited in because they wanted us to see this.
The owl is in his leafy temple. Let all within the grove be reverent before him. Lift up your heads, O ye trees, and be ye lifted up, ye everlasting spires. For behold, here is Bohemian shrine, and holy are the pillars of this house. Breathing spiders, come not near. Hail, Bohemians! With the ripple of waters, song of birds, such music as inspires the sinking souls, and we invite you into midsummer's joy. Sky flooded blue, sown with stars. The forest floor is heaped with fragrant drift. Evening's cool kiss is yours. The campfires glow. The birth of rosy things is gone. Shake off your sorrows with the city dust and cast to the winds the cares of life. Let memory bring back the well-loved names of gallant friends who knew and loved this grove. Dear boon companions of the long ago. Aye, let them join us in this ritual. Not a place be empty in our midst. So, beauty shackles, behold in this gray autumn of the world her springtime in your heart. A 10-hour tale. Gather ye forest folk, and cast your spell over these mortals. Touch their world-blind eyes with fairy unseen. Hope their eyes and blow open memories of yesterday and seal the gates of sorrow. It is a dream, and yet not all a dream. Dull care and all of his works are but a dream. As vanished Babylon and goodly Tyre, so shall they also vanish. But the wilding rose blows on the broken battlements of Tyre, and walks rend the stones of Babylon. For beauty is eternal, and we bow to beauty everlasting. For lasting happiness, we turn to one alone, and she surrounds you now. Great nature, refuge of the weary heart, and only balm for breasts that have been bruised. We have cool hands for every favorite brow, and gentlest silence for the troubled soul. These counsels are most wise. She healeth well, having such ministries as calm and sleep. She is ever faithful. Other friends may fail, but speak ye her in any quiet place. Smiling, she will rise and give to you her kiss. So must ye come as children. Little children that believe nor ever doubt her beauty and her faith, nor deem her tenderness can change or die. Is answered by the power of your fellowship. Dull care is slain. His body has been brought down.
You understand?
Gee, One-Eye, what do you want to do today?
The same thing we do every day. Try to take over a historically black college.
The One-Eye and the Owl, One-Eye and the Owl, a pyramid schemer with a pal that is a pal. From the 1% to the class of 23, the great white hope for the Illuminati. The One-Eye and the Owl.
It's our first day as college students, One-Eye. I'm so excited to stroll the quad, ask about student discounts, and cram for an exam.
Welcome to HBU, guys. Let me know if you have any questions.
Black Lives Matter!
Black Lives Matter!
Okay, that's not weird at all.
Black Lives Matter!
Black Lives Matter!
It's working, Owl. We're fitting right in.
That's great, One-Eye. Do Black Lives really matter?
Oh, of course not, you fool.
Excuse me, King.
Black Lives Matter!
Y'all students here?
Students? Here? Us?
That wasn't a three-part question, black man.
Yes, we're just a couple of young freshmen getting our education on.
Education, huh?
Pardon my homeboy's regional accent. He's from Camden.
Camden, New Jersey? I'm from Camden.
Oh, yeah, not Camden, New Jersey. Camden,
Wakanda! We're from Wakanda!
Yeah. I mean, why would we make up something like that?
Yeah, why?
I don't know, 1%er masquerading around like you a 5%er, but we finna find out.
He's on to us, One-Eye.
Our only options are to come clean and reveal our multi-tiered plans.
Or burn this whole motherfucker to the ground! Devon, are you harassing these poor freshmen?
Vanessa, I'm telling you, these dudes are off. They got to be Illuminati.
Actually, Junior Illuminati. You are so paranoid. Everybody knows ain't no such thing as Illuminati.
Yeah, no such thing.
Vanessa, listen to me.
No, you listen to me. Security!
Get off me! Black Lives Matter! I can't breathe!
Sorry about that.
Some people just feel the need to take over and control everything. Yeah, that's the kettle calling the Illuminati black. Can I say that?
What's Justin Bieber's latest message to his fans? I will see you later. Well, not exactly, but JB did shake up the entertainment world over the weekend when he was the first to reveal his newest tattoo, and as you would guess, yes, the new artwork is an owl. The large black and gray animal covers a huge portion of the singer's arm, very close to his recent Believe tattoo. This marks Justin's 8th tattoo overall and his 6th just this year. Now, as I mentioned, the Biebs was the first to show off the tattoo on Instagram, explaining briefly that he wanted to put it out there before the paparazzi had the chance to take a shot. So what in the world does this mean? Well, Justin has yet to speak out for himself, but he did retweet a comment from a fan that explained the symbolism behind the owl. The tweet stated that an owl symbolizes all things that are, quote, wise, majestic, and powerful. So perhaps that's what this new image means to the now 18-year-old singer. Let us know what you think it means by commenting below, and don't forget to subscribe to Clever TV on YouTube for ongoing JB Scoop as news breaks.
YouTuber Dancer 1, and he snuck into the Bohemian Grove. And it's really creepy. He went like crazy far with it. He went into some of the buildings, and it had this creepy looking weird clown demon goblin. Oh, weird. There's like a iron bowl with 2 owls on each side of it in front of the giant owl statue. Scary. And then the pit where they light the fire and do the mock sacrifice. The owl was also made out of like plaster or something.
Really?
The owl statue, yeah, because he knocked on it was hollow, and you can go behind it and go up inside the owl.
No way.
Yeah, they're stairs. But what was really creepy is a couple times throughout the video, you heard what sounded like humans doing owl noises. Oh, thanks.
What a little adventurer.
Yeah.
Shadows of history in the corners of emblematic buildings. An enigmatic symbol watches silently. But what secrets does the owl of Freemasonry guard? Today, we're venturing on a journey that will take us through the annals of time, to the very heart of a symbol steeped in wisdom and mystery, the owl in Freemasonry. Join us as we unravel the history, symbolism, and significance of the owl and why it has captivated Freemasons around the world. The owl has long been a symbol of wisdom and knowledge, attributes highly valued by Freemasons. This nocturnal creature, bathed in mystery and ancient lore, has etched its image into the annals of human history, crossing cultures and continents with its silent flight. In ancient Greece, the owl was a companion of Athena, the goddess of wisdom, a connection that elevated this bird to a symbol of higher wisdom and knowledge. The Egyptians, too, revered the owl, associating it with Mafdet, the goddess of justice and execution, who protected against venomous bites. The owl was seen as a symbol of protection, a guardian of the truth that lies beneath the surface. Moving eastward in Hindu mythology, the owl is the vehicle of Lakshmi, the goddess of wealth and prosperity. It's a symbol of patience, silence, and solitude, qualities that resonate deeply with the teachings of Freemasonry. Contrasting these positive connotations, in some cultures, the owl was viewed with suspicion and linked with death and misfortune. However, even these darker interpretations often revolve around the owl's ability to see through darkness, a metaphor for seeking truth amid ignorance. So, how did this enigmatic bird, with its diverse representations across cultures, find its way into the annals of Freemasonry? The answer lies in the very principles that Freemasonry upholds. The fraternity values wisdom, seeks truth, and encourages its members to be vigilant. The owl, with its rich symbolic history, perfectly encapsulates these ideals. But how did this nocturnal guardian find its place within the halls and symbols of Freemasonry? That's a tale that takes us on a journey through time, from the ancient temples of Athena to the grand lodges of the Freemasons. In the secretive world of Freemasonry, the owl serves as a beacon of knowledge in the darkness, guiding members toward enlightenment. This nocturnal creature, with its keen vision and silent flight, symbolizes the Mason's pursuit of wisdom and truth, even in the shadows of uncertainty. Just as the owl navigates the night with grace and precision, so too do Freemasons seek to navigate the complexities of life, using the principles of their craft as a guiding light. The owl's ability to see clearly in the darkness mirrors the Masonic quest for illumination, a journey that transcends the physical world and delves into the realm of spirituality and intellect. In the world of symbols, the owl is also associated with vigilance, a trait highly valued in Freemasonry. The owl's unblinking gaze serves as a constant reminder for Freemasons to be on guard, to maintain the integrity of their craft, and to protect the sacred secrets of their order. The owl's symbolism extends to privacy as well. Just as the owl is a silent observer in the night, Freemasons are encouraged to practice discretion, respecting the privacy of their fellow members and the sanctity of Masonic rituals. And yet, the owl's symbolism is not static, but evolves with each Mason's personal journey. Some may see it as a symbol of endurance, others as a symbol of transition. It is this flexibility of interpretation that adds to the owl's mystique within Freemasonry. Its unblinking eyes represent the Masonic principle of being ever watchful, guarding the secrets of the craft while seeking the light of truth. Across the globe, from the grandest lodges to the most intricate pieces of Masonic regalia, the owl makes its presence known. It is more than just a decorative element, it's a silent sentinel, a symbol of wisdom, vigilance, and the quest for truth. In the hallowed halls of Freemasonry, the owl's image is often hidden in plain sight. It may be carved into the wooden panels of a lodge, embroidered on a ceremonial apron, or even etched into a Masonic jewel. Each of these representations serves a distinct purpose, designed to remind members of the principles they uphold. Let's take a journey to the United Kingdom, where the owl is a recurring motif in Masonic architecture. It adorns the exterior of many lodges, its wise gaze surveying the world below. The owl is not a mere ornament. It stands as a testament to the Masonic ideals of knowledge and enlightenment. In the realm of Masonic art, the owl often takes center stage. Artists skillfully incorporate the owl into their work, creating pieces that are rich in symbolism and steeped in history. These artworks serve as a visual narrative, telling the story of Freemasonry through the eyes of the owl. But the owl's presence extends beyond the confines of the lodge. It can be found on Masonic regalia, from aprons to jewels. These items, worn by Freemasons during ceremonies, often feature the owl as a symbol of vigilance and wisdom. The owl in Masonic art and architecture is not just a symbol, it's a storyteller. It speaks of a rich history, a commitment to knowledge, and a quest for truth. Each depiction is a carefully crafted reminder of the values Freemasonry cherishes, wrapped in the mystique of this silent observer. Like any symbol shrouded in secrecy, the owl has sparked its share of controversy and speculation. The owl, with its nocturnal nature and piercing gaze, has often been linked with dark and occult practices, leading some to perceive Freemasonry as a sinister organization. This, however, is a gross misinterpretation, fueled more by fear of the unknown than by fact. The owl's association with wisdom and knowledge, central to the Masonic ethos, is often overlooked in these controversial discussions. Rather than symbolizing dark forces, the owl in Freemasonry stands as a beacon, guiding Masons in their quest for enlightenment and moral improvement. It's a symbol of vigilance, a reminder to be watchful over one's actions and thoughts. Misunderstandings arise when we view symbols through our own cultural and personal lenses, forgetting that symbols can carry different meanings in different contexts. In the realm of Freemasonry, the owl is not a harbinger of doom, but a symbol of wisdom and vigilance. We'll separate fact from fiction, shedding light on how Freemasons interpret the symbolism of the owl versus the myths perpetuated outside the lodge. From ancient wisdom to Masonic principles, the owl's journey through the ages is a testament to its enduring symbolism. We've traced its origins, delved into its significance within Freemasonry, and tackled the controversies that surround it. Through the silent gaze of the owl, we've explored the rich tapestry of Masonic traditions, highlighting the values cherished in this enigmatic craft. What are your thoughts on the owl's symbolic role in Freemasonry? Join the discussion below, and don't forget to subscribe for more mysteries unveiled.
I'm ready for the Superb Owl.
Superb Owl.
Yeah.
Never look at Super Bowl the same ever again. We'll be back with more Morning Rush.
Before we get into the video,
so close to heaven.
Now, this is a follow-up video to our earlier video about the Society of Jesus and Saint Francis Borgia. Something kind of a subtopic that I definitely wanted to talk about. Now, if you missed that first episode where we broke down the Society of Jesus, a link will be down in the description box below. Now, if we follow the timeline of the Society of Jesus, we know that when their power was revoked at the end of the 18th century, that is when we saw the rise of a particular secret society. The society we like to call it on this channel because of this platform, the Illuminati. And the Illuminati picked a particular mascot. And this, of course, was the Owl of Minerva. Now, we see this owl everywhere. We see it on our money. We see it on that little campsite in Northern California that I can't say on this platform, but y'all know what I'm talking about. We also see it in the layout of Washington, D.C. And, as you guys know, we have one of those owls on top of the TBS Center, or the old TBS Center here in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm downtown, well, kind of midtown Atlanta. So right in front of me is what we call the connector. That's the freeway. It's 75. It's where 75 and 85 meet. You can kind of see. Anyway, downtown's that way. So across the street, across the freeway, I don't know if you guys can see it, but that's the new Turner TBS. Maybe I can pull my camera so you guys can see. So that's the newish Georgia Tech's over there. And this is the old TBS. When TBS was first, when Ted Turner first opened TBS up here in Atlanta, I'm going to get closer. You can kind of see the TBS sign right here. So let's find the owl so you can see the owl. Now, the owl symbolizes knowledge, wisdom, and enlightenment. This is because owls notoriously can see in the dark. Now, I do have to remind you that owls themselves are not bad. Once again, we can't have this vigilante attitude where we have to destroy everything that the darkness has touched, because then literally we would have nothing left. And remember, my friends, the darkness can't create anything, only the light can. So owls themselves were created by the divine creator, the same creator that created you and me. And of course, they were given a very specific talent, again, to be able to see in the dark and to also twirl their head around in a full circular motion. Now, again, Minerva is the equivalent of Athena. And in my personal opinion, this might be an unpopular opinion. This is just my own personal opinion because I have done a lot of look into the Greek deities, which Minerva's Greek counterpart is Athena again. And I, at this point in my life, am of the opinion that all of the Greek deities that we see were Nephilim. Now, I started to figure this out when I first started to study the origins of Mardi Gras and Dionysus, and how we see all of these sculptures of all these Greek deities, these demigods, you know, we see them as being giants, right? These old structures and sculptures would show like us humans being these little things, and then there would be these gigantic people that were these Greek deities. Now, a lot of people will say, oh, that was just metaphor of our ancestors. They were just showing the majesty of their gods, blah, blah, blah. But in my opinion, I think our ancestors were a little bit more literal. I think they were literally telling us that these beings were giants, were Nephilim. Now, again, as I've said many times before, we cannot judge a group of people just because that particular group has the reputation of not being so good. So even though I personally believe that the Greek gods were Nephilim, that does not mean that every Greek god was nefarious. Just like we can't say that every human being of a certain race is nefarious. You know, we have to be careful with that kind of black and white thinking. But nonetheless,
Minerva in Roman mythology is the equivalent of Athena in Greek mythology, and they both have divine abilities and attributes. According to legend, she was the one who taught humanity how to weave, sew, make pottery, and grow plants. Athena, the goddess of knowledge in classical Greek mythology, was a multi-talented woman who collaborated with an owl to keep Athens secure. The owl, which stands for wisdom, reason, and fairness, is Minerva's emblem. Like a result, the saying, "be wise as an owl," exists in English. The owl has attentive eyes that are bright, acute, and perceptive, as well as prominent eyebrows. Philosophy was coined by the ancient Greek philosopher Pythagoras as the love of wisdom, and the owl, the animal representing wisdom, became a term for philosophy. Since then, Minerva's owl has come to represent philosophy. Hegel interpreted the Minerva's owl's flight as the beginning of human intelligence. But the owl doesn't fly in the morning sun to meet the rising sun or in the afternoon sun between the blue sky and white clouds. Instead, it takes off silently as dusk falls while simultaneously casting a chilling glance over everything. Hegel uses this metaphor to show that the philosophical way of knowing is a reflection, meaning the repetitive thought that follows behind the facts. Hegel defined reflection as knowledge of knowledge and thought of thought, which is thought using itself as an object and then thinking about it. If realization and thought are compared to birds that soar in the clear sky while the sun is rising or shining, reflection can only take flight stealthily at dark, of course. The owl flying out at dusk also suggests that philosophical contemplation must be intense, selfless, and icy all at once. A deep mental and emotional seriousness, a transcendence from everyday utilitarian interests, and an elimination of the shallowness of opinions are necessary for philosophical reflection. Wisdom is represented by the owl, and philosophy is the realization and use of wisdom. While the owl flying off in the dusk provides us insight and wisdom, it also forces us to put away all other considerations and look at the world and ourselves objectively.
You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts.
All right, Black and White Sports supporters. Well, we all watched what seemed to be a bit of a fiasco. Well, if you're a Bills fan, it's a lot more than a bit. But I contend that the average NFL fan last night was, if you have any real knowledge of the game, was pretty pissed. All right, when you were watching the outcome of that game, and now there's been even more blowback, as you can imagine, because every time the Chiefs play now, NFL is rigged trends online. That should tell some people some things. The other thing, and I don't think Chiefs fans understand this, like me, I don't really have a hatred for the Chiefs at all. It's just we've noticed some things over and over and over again, and now it's actually starting to gain a lot more attention. Okay, and you know, it does seem like the NFL has some kind of, I guess, biasness towards the Chiefs. I don't know how you want to say it. I don't know if it's the fact that we just keep seeing things over and over and over again. And a lot of people are just fed up. They really are. So the NFL is rigged trended last night. And there's a couple of things that's going on now that's actually out there. And one of them should scare the crap out of the NFL, at least I guess it should, unless they're just so ate up with the gambling money and all this kind of thing that they just don't care anymore. But they get paid from media rights deals, right? Television ratings, all right? These big rights deals they get from these various networks. Now, keep in mind, the Commanders and Eagles game and the Bills-Chiefs game, people were already wondering, would yesterday's game have a drop in ratings like the last 2 weeks? All right, the final metrics for the divisional round reflected a 7% drop from 40 million down to 37.1 million. The wild card round had a 9.3% drop from 31.2 to 28.3. Also, the NFL season in general was down on ratings. I don't know if a lot of people realize that. So, Dave Portnoy, of course, owns Barstool Sports. He posted this last night. He says, I'm going to quit watching football. He's not. But I see where he's going. Yeah, he likes to gamble. He's not going to quit watching football. But he knows that with 3.4 million followers, and he absolutely cannot stand Roger Goodell. A lot of people can't, including myself. There is no other way to teach the commissioner a lesson. This is blatant cheating. The NFL is rigged. I don't know what happened last night.
The biggest hose job I've ever fucking seen. First of all, this 3rd and 3 play. This spot is disgusting. Knees not down. That's a first.
Okay, let's stop right there. That's a first down. We should have never gotten a 4th down. I don't know why this one is not getting as much attention. Other one, we should have never went to a 4th down here for the Bills. Should have never even made it there. That's a first down. And, I mean, damn it, it's not even close. All right, so let's go to 4th down.
First down. So that spot off. That's a bad spot right there by I don't know, half a yard right there. And then we're going to go for it on 4th down, which we all know what happens. But the fact that these refs Who decides where first of all, this is clearly a first down. It's like not even fucking close. And then what is this?
Okay, now you heard what he said. It's clearly a first down. It's not even close. This guy down here, Goodell, doesn't give a shit about us as long as he secures his TV contracts. He's made the game worse. You know, and it's not that we may not be looking at a great game. Potentially the game could be great. The Super Bowl could be great. That game 2 years ago was one of the best Super Bowls I've ever watched. Jalen Hurts, I contend, should have been the Super Bowl MVP in a losing effort.
Welcome back, disgruntled sports fans. The NFL's divisional playoff round ratings are in, and they're down massively, as in... Yes, that's right. For the second week in a row, the NFL playoffs ratings are down. Millions of people are tuning out in droves, and that is probably because the NFL plays fake, phony, pretend football. Not only is it fixed football, but the product is terrible. It's downright unwatchable most weeks. So, it's no shocker to me that less and less people want to sit around and waste their time and waste their weekends watching this unwatchable crap. The Ravens and the Bills played on Sunday night, and they drew 42.2 million viewers in that time slot. That exact same time slot last season drew over 50 million viewers. That is a 16% drop in ratings. We're talking about millions and millions and millions and millions of people tuning out, deciding that they don't even want to watch the playoffs. They don't want to watch this trash product. And of course, in 2025, you got people struggling to pay the rent. You got people out there being priced out of their own homes, people having to move into their cars, or worse. So yeah, people in financial trouble in 2025, they don't want to sit around and watch rigged, scripted, pretend football. And I don't blame them. I mean, these massive ratings declines really speaks volumes about where the NFL product is at right now. Regular season viewership was down. Viewership is down through the first 2 rounds of the playoffs. What do you think's going to happen with the AFC and NFC championship round? You think magically those numbers are going to go up? I suggest those numbers are probably going to go down as well. Then, of course, we got the Super Bowl. My guess, we're going to see a decline in viewership of the Super Bowl. In 2025, people are worried about how they're going to pay the rent. People are more worried about how they're even going to survive. So there's less and less people that want to sit around and watch a fake, phony football game. Not only are the NFL's ratings down, but my breakdowns of the fake, phony games, my ratings are also down. Now, funny thing is, the last video I made about how the NFL's ratings have dropped in the last playoff round, that video outperformed my last 4 playoff breakdown videos. So, me complaining about the NFL and talking about how their ratings have dropped, I'm getting more viewership on that video than I am breaking down the actual fake and phony games. So what's the NFL gonna do to fix the ratings plummeting? What are they gonna do next season to try and correct this problem? Well, I don't think they really can do much about it. I mean, what are they gonna try? Another celebrity player romance? People are already sick to death of Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. They had to back off on the amount of times they talked about Kelce and Swift this season. And it hasn't worked. Ratings are down. So what are they going to do? Try and inject even more fake player celebrity romances and hope that that gains more of an audience next season? It's not going to work. I foresee the ratings dropping even more so next season than they did this season. And I could see the NFL getting desperate and trying some extra phony crap next season to try and make up for their ratings decline. I mean, guys, knowing the NFL, they'll probably have Josh Allen start dating like Miley Cyrus, right? That'd be a ratings grabber, right? Josh Allen, the great white hope of Buffalo, possibly even the next Super Bowl winner, who knows, starts dating Miley Cyrus, and then they become the next Kelce Swift, right?
No. How about Patrick Mahomes leaves his wife and starts dating Lady Gaga? Yeah, that'll make more people start watching football, right? Yeah, a little drama. Yeah, Lady Gaga and Patrick Mahomes, the new celebrity gossip item in the NFL, that's definitely gonna draw in the ratings. That'll fix the ratings problem for sure. So let me know in the comments section down below, are you guys watching these playoff games or have you already tuned out? As always, I want to thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe.
Start off with a conspiracy theory. I know you love those.
Oh, I love
Put your tin hat
conspiracy
on.
theories.
Okay,
I love those.
this is the question everyone's talking about. Do Super Bowl colors predict the final teams? The logos, because in the logos, they're different every single year. It's supposed to reflect the city that the game's been played in. And everyone keeps saying that determines who actually ends up in the Super Bowl.
Well, what's the colors this year?
Okay, the colors are... Let's see. The colors are purple, gold, and green. It's kind of to
Oh, well then,
commemorate the
if
spirit
it's
of New
green,
Orleans.
yeah, because the Eagles are going to get there, they're going to win it. So yes,
Gold?
the answer to that is
Are we
yes.
looking at
Gold.
Chiefs? Yeah, we got the red and gold for
Chiefs?
Chiefs. No. Okay, so you're saying Eagles?
No, Eagles are going to win it. Green. There's no gold.
Blue, there's 3 colors in this logo, so like clearly there has
No,
to
the other two colors don't matter. Green.
Okay. All right, Eagles fans, there you go.
That's it. The other
You
two
have
matter.
it.
Who cares
They're
about
winning.
gold?
According to the conspiracy theory of Blue Albanese, the Eagles are going to win
Gold.
this one.
What are we, Don Quixote with the gold? Nobody cares about the gold. Green.
Let's
finish this line for me. 2024. Buffalo Bills will be
the Super Bowl champions. I think it's already scripted too. I think we've seen it.
Well, the scripts do go out. We have seen them. They've been handed out in multiple sports.
It's already
NBA was
scripted.
a wild
Is
one.
it scripted? Yeah, it was a leaked script that for the last 5
Is
years.
it scripted? You played.
They leaked the script. They leaked the Super Bowl script 5 years ago, and they had the Broncos winning it. And then I think they had the Patriots winning the next one after that. Then they had Patrick Mahomes winning one.
One of the most violent players in NFL history. One of the most violent players in NFL history. A 16-year career marked by bone-crunching hits and 4 Super Bowl trophies. However, a career fueled by violence and hatred would result in one of the most controversial and hated athletes in sports history.
But this NFL hitman earned a nasty reputation for extraordinary violence,
Romanowski was in trouble. Carry Collins.
breaking bones of his opponents and even a teammate.
Heads turned in preseason when he put one of his teammates on injured reserve in a fight during practice.
But he told us there was only one way to survive in the NFL.
Went to the hospital for 4 hours of surgery after Romanowski's hit.
With overpowering strength and hatred. Steroid, the cheap shot.
I'm pissed, and I'm down there just trying to rip that ball out of his hands, and alls I could get was a finger. And at that time, I thought it was his, but just whatever it was, I just snapped it.
But an incident involving linebacker Bill Romanowski threatened to destroy the season.
But the next thing you know, you're starting to hear the rumblings. Romo just spit in J.J. Stokes' face.
They talked about what actually is a concussion. You hit somebody and you see stars, you've been concussed.
NFL fans may know All-Pro linebacker Bill Romanowski as the spitting, taunting, muscle-enhancing madman of the Denver Broncos.
I will tell you both, there's never been one game where I didn't see stars.
We're talking almost 200 games just in the pros.
It turned into a race issue at that particular point.
Did you take human growth hormone?
Romo spitting into a black man's face. Was it racially motivated?
I compromised my morality to get ahead, to play another year, to play 2 more years, to win another Super Bowl.
Oh my God! No! Oh, thank God! Oh my God! Yes, we won the fucking Super Bowl. That's it. We fucking won the fucking Super Bowl. Oh my God! Yes! Oh my God! Oh my God!
Don't scare her, babe.
And the
Commanders today, baby. You know them niggas just like candy.
Eagles celebrations taking a tragic turn.
Yeah, a Temple University student who fell from a pole in Center City has died. Police are now reviewing their response to the crowds as they plan for Super Bowl Sunday.
Action News reporter Catherine Scott is at Temple University with more on how the 18-year-old is being remembered.
So many times here in Philadelphia after a big win, people climb the poles during the celebration, and in this case, this turned deadly for a Temple student. An Eagles victory celebration turned into tragedy for a student at Temple University. 18-year-old Tyler Sabapathy died from injuries he sustained from falling off a pole at 15th and Market after the NFC Championship.
I had a friend send me text and I saw it on social media. I didn't know him, but I saw him around campus. I was pretty shocked.
The school said the Toronto native was a member of the university's club gymnastics team. He's pictured here in a welcome message from the team last year.
I train 5 days a week at 20 hours a week.
The decorated gymnast posted this video on YouTube while in Canada, introducing himself in a recruitment video. He was a first-year student at Temple's College of Public Health, majoring in exercise and sports science. Temple's statement reads in part, "He no doubt had a bright future ahead of him, and it is so tragic that we will not be able to see how he would have made his mark on the world."
I'm really sad for his family and just like any friends he'd made here because he was only a freshman, right?
Numerous angles of video of the fall are circulating on social media. This is one of them, which we've frozen, showing how high Sabapathy was at the top, above the green street signs before he fell into the sidewalk, hitting his head. Sabapathy was taken to the hospital and died yesterday.
In the past, we were concerned of the damage to the poles, tearing down the poles. In this case, unfortunately, a young man fell from the poles.
Philadelphia police held an internal briefing to review Sunday's response and discuss what strategies they'll use in the future. The city did not say if they greased the poles. The mayor spoke generally on Monday about celebrating safely.
We're hearing a Mayor Parker variation. We love it. We love to see it. All love for Mayor Parker. Yeah, guys, absolutely packed. People are just flooding in from every which direction. They're running towards City Hall, which of course is lit up green. The polls have not been touched yet. So we're, oh, nope, we got a poll. Did you see it, Mark? We got someone on a poll already. So if that poll was greased, it is not working. You see him? You see the guy on the poll? Yeah. Yep, we already got one up there. So clearly whatever work they did this morning, maybe it's the cold temperatures, maybe it's just a determination, I don't know. He is sitting on that traffic light right now. I hope that traffic light is sturdy. So much excitement. Look, guys, nobody wanted this for us. Nobody wanted this. All I heard all week was Cinderella's story. You know, this is supposed to be their rebuild year, yada, yada, yada. Well, look what happened. Here we are. We're going to the Super Bowl. We're going to New Orleans. And it's because we are the best team in the NFC. And it's because we have the best fan base in the NFL. They couldn't withstand it. Look at these fans. We got a second pole climber here. He's getting up there. And success. All right, we got two guys. The crowd is going wild. Yep. Oh, he's going even higher. All right, so just to be clear, we don't recommend this, but nevertheless, it's happening.
It already came out that the referees had it in for Allen Iverson. They used to do things so he would purposely lose. NFL the same way, man. You can't even touch Mahomes. You touch Mahomes, flag.
Bills fans, tune in because we have a hot topic to discuss today. The controversy over refereeing favoritism towards the Kansas City Chiefs has gained momentum again, and now, none other than Chiefs owner Clark Hunt has decided to respond directly to Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills about these accusations. Let's get to the bottom of this story. In recent years, many NFL
Kansas City Chiefs getting back in the zone, throwing parties like Patrick, I pack up my homes.
Bring the Super Bowl to Philly and I promise it won't take long. Got my Barkley on running back like they Saquon.
Kareem hunting birds if they don't have room. Glock was a Philly cheesesteak to a tomahawk chop. Chris Jones with the lines, man, why you get defensive? Lock him down, word to McDuffie, I'm from the trenches.
Don't care if they defensive, it's extensive, running through your block. Sling any cornerback, let's see if they recoup or not. Let them try something, don't never mind nothing. You know we in New Orleans, so the second line coming.
Coming through for the 3-peat, man, Arrowhead with a belt beat. I'm getting down on the Swifty, with a tight end like Kelsey. From KC to New Orleans, got Xavier cause I'm worthy. From the offense to the defense, we straight up coming dirty.
I murder beats when I get it in, I turn a Chief to an Indian. Soon as they check in and leave them all with red skin. Hands on their neck, put some bands on the set. And after our last game, we command the respect.
Coming to break a record, we better take it, so let go. Running back on the option, we pop them like I'm Pacheco. Man, the Chiefs about to win the Super Bowl, what's the word? Ain't this Kansas City, only right, we barbecue the birds.
Can't barbecue the birds, but you doing what you supposed to do. Remember, we the Eagles, so we still flying over you. Good or bad game, you still gotta learn more. Never hating, but like Jalen, this L hurts more.
No halftime show, but we flowing on the track. DNA and Danny James, it's a Super Bowl of rap.
I'm going with the Eagles, we gonna knock your crew off. Do the Gilly dance, cause they came up too short.
Welcome back, Truth Seeker. More tragedy right before Super Bowl 59. This time it's a young reporter for Telemundo Kansas City, dead for unexplained reasons while covering the upcoming Super Bowl in the hosting city, which just suffered the tragedy on New Year's Day before Georgia, Notre Dame. People say I talk too fast, so I'm going to go through this little story here, slower than Luka Doncic on the basketball court. Slower than the Marshmallow Man through the Big Apple. Notice, the reporter.
Aiden Manzano is dead at 27. And of course, there's that thing out there, the 27 Club. And things like this start to make a lot more sense when you know about gematria, the Kabbalistic practice of coding numbers into words, where the word ritual equates to 27. And notice Mr. Manzano died yesterday, Wednesday, February 5th, a date that can be written 2/5 or 5/2. You might recall that was the day in history that Tom Brady had the 25-point comeback on the Falcons to become 5-2 in Super Bowls. In gematria, Falcons equals 25, like Pope, like Trump. Trump had just become president and said he was cheering for Tom Brady and the Patriots, said he was friends with Bill Belichick. That was the 97th NFL season. Bill Belichick equals 97. 97's the 25th prime. The Pope blessed that Super Bowl, partly because Matt Ryan was in it, who went to Boston College, the Jesuit school, when Pope Francis is the first Jesuit Pope. And of course, Tom Brady once got his hand kissed by the prior, actually two popes prior, Pope John Paul II, who was the Pope when Brady started his reign after 9/11 and the Patriot Act. Talk about ritual. But okay, dead at 27, on a date that can be written 5-2. The Chiefs, who he covers, their next playoff win is 27. You might recall last year in the Super Bowl representing Missouri, the 24th state. They got their 24th playoff win at the start of 2024. But their next playoff win is 27. And they're currently 4-2 in Super Bowls. They're going to have their 7th appearance in this one. If they're 4-2, how could their record end up like the date, 5th day of 2nd month? And let's not forget what happened to poor Kobe Bryant right before this run began in Super Bowl 54, when Kobe Bean Bryant equals 54 and Kobe Bryant alone equals 41, like his age of death. As you can see, Telemundo equates with Wednesday, 3744. As you can see, Adam Manzano, if you're new here, there are 4 base ciphers of the English language: the alphabetic order, the reverse alphabetic order, the alphabetic order with numerology, the reverse alphabetic order with numerology. As you can see, Adam Manzano equates to 104 and 58. Last year, the Chiefs won Super Bowl 58 to conclude the 104th season, a season synced with Taylor Allison Swift, where her name equals 104 and her surname alone equals 58. You can also see that his name equates to 193, the 44th prime number, going with Telemundo and Wednesday. And you can also see that his name equals 41, like Super Bowl. Again, also like Kobe Bryant. A reminder that Mahomes is 3-1 in Super Bowls himself right now, trying to do what Kobe did, three-peating. Kobe did it with his coach Phil Jackson, who has the same birthday as Mahomes, September 17th. The man the term three-peat is associated with is Pat Riley, another Patrick. But yeah, year after year, things like this. And no, this doesn't mean go bet your house on the Chiefs. But year after year, these things happen and the games unfold by the numbers as anticipated. And again, the greater takeaway is they're killing people for these games ritualistically. And sadly, there will be more before the game and after the game. And it'll be obvious, just like this one. So hopefully that was slow enough for the average person out there. R.I.P. to Aiden Manzano. And until next time, Truth Seeker. Well, what do you know? Turns out I was wrong, Truth Seeker. According to Fox News and Roger Goodell, the NFL is not scripted. Let's read all about it, and let's remember this headline here. NFL commissioner slams ridiculous theory around Chiefs ahead of Super Bowl. Now, you remember that emphasis on that word ridiculous, because we're going to come back to how ridiculous it is. NFL's Roger Goodell slams ridiculous theory around Chiefs ahead of Super Bowl LIX. Chiefs' performance has been more scrutinized in recent weeks. NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell attempted to dismantle any notion of favoritism from officials toward the Kansas City Chiefs on Monday during his pre-Super Bowl LIX press conference. Goodell was asked about the theory of NFL officiating, which stems from the insinuation that the Chiefs are on the receiving end of favorable calls during games. It came to light during the team's playoff wins over the Houston Texans and Buffalo Bills. I'm pretty sure it came to light for longer than this NFL season. This sort of reminds me a little bit of the script, right? Then I write a script, and I have a script for the entire seasons, he said. I think a lot of those theories are things that happen in social media, and they get a new life. Nobody wants it to be their theory. Yeah, how about your announcers always saying they couldn't have scripted it any better? It's been going on since longer than you were the commissioner. I understand it. I think it reflects a lot of the fans' passion. I think it's also a reminder for us on how important officiating is. I think the men and women officiating the NFL are outstanding. They have the highest possible standards. So yeah, that's a ridiculous theory for anyone who might take it seriously. But at the end of the day, it's something we always have to continue to work on, how we make our officiating better at all times. The 2 calls in their win over the Texans ignited a firestorm. The penalties were called after hits on quarterback Patrick Mahomes. A few questionable calls in the win over the Bills also raised eyebrows too. Fox NFL analyst Rob Gronkowski told Fox News Digital he noticed officials were a bit more lenient towards the Chiefs. Probably reminds him of the kind of treatment his team used to get with Tom Brady. Regardless, Goodell defended officials and highlighted the competition. If you look at the Chiefs' record, which I think is an amazing thing, he said, people talk about the competitiveness in our league. The Chiefs with their 15 wins, 11 of those 15 games within 1 score. I think that talks about the competitiveness of our game and the importance of how we officiate, but also the competitiveness of how we play it. What a story. Who could ever deny the script after that kind of testimony? But okay, ridiculous, right? Ridiculous is the word. Can we take a good look here at the gematria of ridiculous? 131, where have I seen that number? Did Mahomes just advance to the Super Bowl 131 days after his birthday? Were the Chiefs the only team to go 13-1 this year? Did the Chiefs win in Joe Montana's San Francisco 49ers Stadium 131 days after Montana's birthday when Mahomes, who plays for the Chiefs like Montana also did, is trying to emulate Montana history, winning his 4th championship in New Orleans? And what's with all this 55 business? From the Eagles advancing with 55 to Learjet 55, crashing on 1/31 on Roosevelt, which equals 131. But anyway, have I not been teaching about this for 11 years, about the Super Bowl and the rigged games and the number 131, which also connects with the rest of the World of Sports Championships, because not only does Super Bowl equal 131, but so does championship? How about that 50? Does Chiefs equal 50? Does anyone remember when the Chiefs won their first Super Bowl in 50 years over Joe Montana's 49ers in Super Bowl 54, when both Chiefs and San Francisco equate to 50? How about that 139, like Freemasonry, like America, like how American football is credited to the Freemason Walter Camp? And Freemasonry is based in Kabbalah, where this whole thing of letters and numbers comes from. How about 139 is the 34th prime, and Mahomes equals 34? And then 67, isn't that just like Kansas City equals 67, and 67 is the 19th prime, and last year while Montana was 67 years old, the Chiefs became the first team to go back-to-back in 19 years when the game went to overtime, 19-19, and McCall Hardman caught the game winner, scoring his 19th points, not to mention his name equals 58, like it was Super Bowl 58. Ridiculous. Again, not as ridiculous as what they just did with that plane in Philly, though. Again, look at Roosevelt. Whoops, if I could spell it right. Roosevelt. Now let's compare it with Super Bowl. Remember the plane in Philly, the Learjet 55, just crashed on Roosevelt Street in front of the Roosevelt Mall. Kind of reminds you of FDR, who was a 3-term president, like those 3 frozen Chiefs fans, like the Chiefs going for 3 in a row, never done in the Super Bowl era. But remember that Learjet 55, it debuted in history April 19th, 1979. From April 19th to the crash was exactly 41 weeks on 1/31. Again, when Mahomes beat the 49ers, it was 131 days after Montana's birthday. Mahomes got his 41st regular season road win. It was 112 days before the Super Bowl. It was also 4 months and 9 days after Mahomes' birthday. And of course, Mahomes is going for his 49th road win in his career in the Super Bowl, since the AFC is the road team. But for all you Eagles fans, the one little prayer out there for you is, if home teams win, they'll be 11-2 in the playoffs, a bit like that 1-1-2. But again, the first Mr. Three-Peat, Pat Riley, another Patrick. Again, another coach who was known for the old three-peats. Phil Jackson, who coached Jordan and Kobe, has the same birthday as Patrick Mahomes. We all know what happened to Kobe a week before Mahomes went on this Super Bowl winning rampage. Ridiculous. So yeah, anyway, I apologize for telling you guys it's all scripted. Teaching about that 131 thing for over a decade. Apparently it was all just a coincidence. Including the 41 minutes after the hour post. Yeah, you want to look into something, look up the number 741. It's called the Lucifer number. 741 is the 38th triangular number, and Lucifer equals 38. That's a whole nother story, though. Till next time, True Seeker. Oh my God. Right as I want to sign off, I noticed their videos 237. Those are the prime factors of 42. Reminds me how every black quarterback to win a Super Bowl has played on a native team and had a 42 ritual. Doug Williams, 42 points. Russell Wilson representing the 42nd state. Patrick Mahomes, Super Bowl 54, 42 passes. Patrick Mahomes, Super Bowl 57 in Arizona, 42 land. Patrick Mahomes, Super Bowl 58, makes his team 4-2 on the 42nd day of the year. Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid in the Super Bowls they've performed in together, 211 points scored in those games, and the last one was on 2/11, February 11th, the Vatican's birthday, when Vatican equals 47 and 25, and there were 47 points in the game, 25 of them scored by the winning Chiefs. Okay. Again, it must all be a coincidence because Roger Goodell said so. Till next time, true seeker.
The best of all time if you weren't already.
It definitely makes us, I think, the best team of all time. And getting a three-peat in the Super Bowl era has never been done before. And so to be able to do that, it'd be iconic, and it'd be something that would solidify us as one of the best teams of all time. And that's what you want when you play a game like football.
Do you think that maybe makes you the best of all time if you weren't already?
It definitely makes us, I think, the best team of all time and had the best run. I think I'm more worried about that. I think at the end of my career is when I'll be able to decide, or I'll be able to make a decision for myself if I can become the GOAT. But it's going to be hard, man. Tom had 3 Hall of Fame careers, so it's going to be a long run, but I got to keep the consistency going. Getting a three-peat in the Super Bowl era.
You gotta love this!
Hey, this is our moment right here. When you get the opportunity in this game, you go out and make the play.
Make the play!
I believe every man in this circle.
Yes, sir.
As far as the underdog thing, man, I mean, it just gives you a little added motivation going into the offseason. So, like I said, I never feel like we're underdogs. I believe we can win any game that we play in, but we have to continue to prove that every single year. As far as
15-3 in the playoffs. Ladies and gentlemen, the QB1 of all QB1s, Patrick Mahomes.
Kansas City, let me hear you one time. Man, what a year. To battle through the adversity, to continue to go for that championship. They all doubted us. I don't want to hear any different. But you know who came through in the end. That's the Kansas City Chiefs. I just want to thank everybody here, because Chiefs Kingdom, y'all are the reason that we do what we do. Hey, real quick. Hold up, sorry. I know. I'm a regular quarterback. This is what it is. I got to give a shout out to that defense. I mean, can I hear it for the defense? It's crazy. A defense can win the Super Bowl and still be underrated, and that's what those boys have been doing. Hey, one time, can I get a shout out for Harrison Butker? Can I get a shout out for Tommy Townsend? Can I get a shout out for James Winchester? No, for real though, we appreciate everything y'all do. Showing up to Arrowhead every single week. We know we had to go on the road last year, but I promise you next year we'll be at home and we're going for that 3-piece. So don't forget it, don't get it twisted. We're doing it. 3 times, first time in NFL history, we doing it. Love y'all. Y'all, how crazy is that, huh? How crazy is that, huh? Can I get in on this? I love y'all. How crazy is that, huh? How crazy is that, huh?
Back to back, baby. That's another echelon. That's a different tier. It is. That's a different tier right there, baby.
Absolutely. Hey, we're not done, dog. I want 3.
We gotta get 3.
3. No one's ever got 3. 3. No one's ever got 3. I want back to back to back.
It already came out that the referees had it in for Allen Iverson. They used to do things so he would purposely lose. NFL the same way, man. You can't even touch Mahomes. You touch Mahomes, flag.
Real life.
It ain't real life. Real life street stars. You know what time it is.
played in the league, the NFL.
Yeah.
Chicago.
I'm washed up now. I was only practice squad.
Right.
Oh yeah, I got up out of there as soon as I could too.
Right. I have to ask this: is the NFL rigged?
Yeah, for sure. Definitely.
Wait, when you say rigged, like what's rigged about it? Tread lightly.
Okay. There was a game between, I believe, the Bears and Steelers. There's a video of a referee blatantly trying to trip a player. Several dudes who I've worked for directly said, man, every game is rigged. So whenever you see a matchup and a team, like with the Eagles and the Commanders, I'm willing to bet money. Come Tuesday at the defensive meeting, coach come and say, we not running the scheme we ran all year, we doing an install today. It's the same thing the White said from the Buccaneers when they played the Raiders. He said, week of the game, coaches come in, pull out all of the schemes they ran all year, did a whole new install, and when they got to the day of the game, the players said, hey man, we not running this shit. We gonna run we ran all year, and they won the game. If they didn't, they would have lost the game. So when you see a team getting smacked like this and they just beat the Lions,
you're saying the refs have more of a say-so when it comes to rigged games.
well, and then you gotta understand something like the coaches and the coaching staffs. I just seen some weird things happen, you feel me? So, okay, the referees, definitely. Now, like I always say, to prepare for the future, you gotta study history. Remember Tim Donaghy from the NBA? Yeah. He was rigging games. Why is it when certain referee staffs, when in the NBA, are on the floor, certain players get fouled out and get technicals? It already came out that the referees had it in for Allen Iverson. They used to do things so he would purposely lose. NFL the same way, man. You can't even touch Mahomes. You touch Mahomes, flag, 15 yards. Like a normal sack on him, flag, unnecessary roughness.
Yeah.
That ain't strange to you?
That's very strange. I mean, would you rather...
You think he that fast?
No, hell no.
He not that fast, man. You got linemen, 310, who will beat the running back to the edge. Yeah. He's not even sprinting.
Yeah, he's just kind of walking.
They know, don't touch him, you're getting ejected.
I mean, that's rule changes, though.
The rule change was the Brady rule, when you can't hit the quarterback below the knee, so he don't get put out for the season. You can't even touch Patrick at all. Did the Chiefs win today?
They won. Would you rather watch, you know how Madden has that where you could like simulate the whole game? Would you rather watch AI play versus...
I don't even watch. I used to be the biggest sports guy. I don't even watch no sports no more.
Yeah, a guy in Vegas told me, like, hey, all this is rigged.
It is.
Like, this is business.
On the contract, it say entertainment.
Yeah, this is business, man.
On your player contract, man, it say entertainment on there, man. Like the WWE, man.
Yeah.
What's the craziest rigged thing that you seen while you were playing in the NFL? Like you felt like, come on, bro. like,
okay, y'all seen I've been sued already. Okay, hold on. I'm not gonna lie, man. The craziest thing, this wasn't even why I was playing. But when I seen the referee try to trip a player in the game, and then the player come and try to speak out about it, fine, suspended, shut up. Bro, let me pull something up for y'all.
Give me that small.
Because, you know, football, is, especially at that level, because it's not the same game as in college.
Right.
2 different games. Hash mark differences matter. And then, like, the speed level is way different. So watch this. I'm finna. Look up his name, Dwight Smith. He was a safety for the Buccaneers. Look up Dwight Smith NFL rig. Pull that up.
And meanwhile, we're talking about that. I have a son. Should he? And he's pretty good, and like he's real good. He's above average.
Right.
Should I want him to go to NFL?
Now, when it comes to like, you know, generational wealth and like the fact that to get to that level, you got to be a special person. You know, of course.
Yeah.
But it's politics when it comes to that, man.
Right.
You feel me? Because, okay, soon as Brady left the Patriots been trash ever since. Brady goes to the Buccaneers, they win the Super Bowl. Now, Brady wanted to play for the Raiders, but it was little politics that vetoed that. They were trying to push him out the league. You remember the whole Deflategate conspiracy?
Yep.
That's cheating.
That's cheating.
But every coach I ever played for say, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
Right.
So yeah, you know.
So, you know, the famous Dallas and the Dez Bryant catch. What do you say to that?
The same thing about, it's the same thing that happened with the Patriots and Raiders in that snow game. Who they want to win, they gon' finesse it so the person wins. Jerry Jones and Roger Goodell they arch enemies. The people don't know that like that. Jerry Jones been trying to get Goodell out of the commissioner's seat for years. He has sued the NFL several times. His team never get out the first round. That ain't strange to you?
It's very strange. So would you say it's rigged or it's just
definitely
it's scripted?
You pull up what I showed you?
It's a whole thing on it. So would you say it's scripted or is it like, hey, we're gonna want it to end this way, and if it goes against what we want, some people might have some penalties.
Now, when it comes to being scripted, that's gonna be hard to do with a bunch of rich, over-competitive black dudes. Cause we proud. Hold on, man. What? No. I'm getting these stats today.
You gonna drop that ball?
I'm not dropping anything. We just seen AB run off the field. He wasn't getting his extra check, but Gronkowski was getting it. Gronkowski played the game. My homie Sergio Brown. Free my boy right now, you know what I'm saying? He got some crazy charges, you know what I'm saying? Blessings to everybody. I seen Gronkowski late hit this man, do all type of crazy stuff to him, breaking the rules, and they praised Gronkowski on ESPN. Serge in the crib going crazy, like, man, that's against the rule. My specialty is tight ends. Pause. How is he getting all these extra calls on me? That's why.
Good. Okay, good. All right. Let's do this. 3, 2, 1. All right. Greetings and salutations, all my beloved airborne simians, and what up to everything sports fans. What a special day we have for you today. I have a dear friend of mine, Zachary K. Hubbard, Mr. By the Numbers, someone who I have been absolutely pleased to collaborate with on several occasions as far as I'm concerned. Each show has been, well, it's been rewarding. Go check it out for yourself. I thoroughly enjoyed each show. And Zach, I have a special warmth and admiration for Zach because I've watched his personal growth and I've watched him hone in on Rome from the outside, objectively. And I give him just plenty of credit for that. And have I cited Zach in my books, I know that my team loves him as well and follows his work. So, Zach, thanks for taking your time out of your busy day to join us today. And we're going to talk about the sports, the Super Bowl, whatever you want.
Well, appreciate it, Johnny. Thanks for citing me in your books as well. You've been more proficient with finishing your books. I've been stuck on my third book for going on 5 years now, but I aim to get over that hump.
It's a lot of work. It is a lot of work. I am here to tell you, especially if you want to have names, places, and dates and numbers. It's a lot of work. John Paul's in the house. JP, how you doing, pal?
Check test. Good to see you guys. Zach, great to be on with you, man. Congratulations on your family and your new daughter. I really admire your family life and follow your work.
He looks disheveled because his little girl's been keeping him awake. So
I believe it.
Yeah, it's been fun though. It's definitely worth it.
Good stuff. Hey, so let's jump right into this. Really, the Super Bowl is the premier sports event. You could argue for the world, except for, I know that's from an American point of view. I'm sure that FIFA and soccer actually beats it out by a long shot, but I don't have experience in that. But certainly on the world stage, the Super Bowl is one of the biggest sports events of all time. And the Godfather, it is the most Catholic game that I know of. The Godfathers of football being devout Roman Catholic out of Chicago, George Hallis, and hyper devout Roman Catholic Vince Lombardi, Jesuit trained, almost priest. It doesn't get much more Catholic than that.
Truly. A lot of people don't realize that, and also how Lombardi died unexpectedly one day before the 1970 season began at Jesuit Georgetown. Absolutely. Whenever you're ready, I'll give people some very surface level things to understand about this year's game.
You're hitting me already. I didn't know he died in Georgetown. You're hitting me already. I'm going to mark that down as I'm taking notes. Kick what you got, brother.
Yeah, and just for another note, I mean, it was 1970, in Gematria, Vatican equals 70. Dead one day before the Vatican. To remind people, last year was the first ever Super Bowl on the Vatican's birthday, February 11th. It was the 95th birthday of the Vatican. And the score was 25-22. Again, when I get on, I like to talk about gematria, the Kabbalistic practice of coding numbers into words. It's very obvious that the Jesuits aware of this knowledge since probably at least the time. Well, again, the Jesuits are pretty much the modern-day Templars. That's why the Templar cross is in their logo. But the story is that the Templars brought back this knowledge of Kabbalah with the Crusades to the church, and it spread through the European ruling class. That's where the term the Kabbalah came from. But again, gematria is the Kabbalistic practice of coding numbers into words. If you look into the English language, it was standardized with the 26-letter alphabet at the end of the 16th century, the same historical moment that the Gregorian calendar was implemented and credited to the Jesuit priest Christopher Clavius. Within the English language, there's 4 base ciphers. You want to know all 4. It's the alphabetic order. A is 1 up to Z is 26. The reverse alphabetic order, Z is 1 back to A is 26, and both orders with numerology applied. So for example, Vatican equals 70 if you just use the alphabetic order. If you use the alphabetic order with numerology, Vatican equates to 25 instead, just like Pope. Last year, the winning score on the first ever Super Bowl on the Vatican's birthday was 25 points. Also, in the time of Pope Francis, he's only blessed 1 Super Bowl, and that was the one with Jesuit-educated Matt Ryan, who went to Boston College, where he gave up the 25-point lead on 2-5 versus Tom Brady. Falcons, for the record, in gematria equals 25. The Patriots became 5-2 in Super Bowls with Brady and Belichick. Of course, that date can also be written 5/2. If you just take the alphabetic order, Pope equals 52, like the 52-week calendar is named after the Pope. With numerology, it's 25. Again, like Vatican, like Falcons. But last year, the score was 25-22, 47 total points. If you run the alphabetic order in reverse, with numerology, Vatican equates to 47. Also like government, like authority, like White House, like Republican, like Democrat, like Caesar, like time. It's a number of authority, and of course time is the ultimate authority. But this perfect tribute in numbers to the Vatican on the Vatican's birthday, winning score 25, total 47 points. And you want to see how scripted it is? Add up the points and all of the Super Bowls that Andy Reid and Mahomes have been in. 211 points in all of those Super Bowls, with the last Super Bowl being on 211, when 211 is also the 47th prime number. So what a perfect day for the Vatican's birthday. So anyway, a big theme right now, if you're paying attention to the games, the Eagles are going 55 crazy. They scored 55 in the conference championship. In the 3 games they've played in the playoffs, they've allowed 10 points, 22 points, and 23 points. Put it together, they've allowed 55 points in the playoffs, scoring 55. The Super Bowl is on the 55th day of the Pope's age, 55. And, you know, when you think Philadelphia, if you're thinking Bible, you're thinking Revelation. And, of course, there's the letter written to the Church of Philadelphia about the synagogue of Satan. And, of course, Satan has that gematria value of 55. And what's interesting is Mahomes, who's playing against the Eagles, along with Andy Reid, who used to coach the Eagles. Mahomes is trying to do what Montana did. Joe Montana, who played for the Niners and Chiefs, he's trying to win his 4th Super Bowl in New Orleans. And if you go back, when Montana won his 4th Super Bowl in New Orleans, he scored 55 points, blowing out the Denver Broncos 55-10. 65 points in the game. This just happens to be the Chiefs' 65th season. And gematria Philadelphia equals 65. The Chiefs are playing the Philadelphia Eagles in their 65th season in a tribute to Andy Reid, who's coached both teams. The other tribute is to Joe Montana. Notice Mahomes, the Super Bowls he's won, 2 against the 49ers, 1 against the Eagles so far. Where's Joe Montana from? If you look it up, he's from New Eagle, Pennsylvania. He's from the same state that the Eagles are in. And again, with regards to that 55 thing, there was just a major tragedy in Philadelphia on January 31st. Learjet 55 crashed on Roosevelt. And there's a lot to say about the here. We were talking about how there's 4 base ciphers. Type out Roosevelt, type out Super Bowl. It's the exact same in all 4 ciphers. 131 with the alphabetic order, like the crash was on January 31st. 131. 41 with the alphabetic order and numerology. Both Roosevelt and Super Bowl. 131, 41. From the anniversary of the first Roosevelt 55 taking off, which happens to be what I call Ignatius of Loyola Day, April 19th. That happened in the year 79. From the anniversary of that date to the crash was exactly 41 weeks on the nose. Run the alphabetic order in reverse. Roosevelt and Super Bowl both equal 112. Chiefs also equals 112. For the record, when Mahomes beat Joe Montana's 49ers this year, that was 131 days after Joe Montana's birthday, 112 days before the Super Bowl, and Mahomes got his 41st regular season road win. The only Super Bowl cipher we haven't heard is in reverse with numerology. Super Bowl and Roosevelt both equal 49, kind of like the 49ers. When Mahomes beat the 49ers this year, it was also 4 months and 9 days after Montana's birthday. And for the record, Mahomes' next road win in his career is 49, and the AFC is the designated road team. Of course, the Chiefs are in the AFC. But again, it's scripted like this every year, and I'll remind people that Joe Montana equals 54. The first Chiefs-Niners Super Bowl was Super Bowl 54. The last one was last year's Super Bowl 58, the 54th of the modern era. Again, to get the modern era Super Bowl count, you just minus 4. So that means Super Bowl 59 is the 55th Super Bowl of the modern era on the Pope's 55th day of his age. Again, this Learjet 55 just crashed on Roosevelt, across from the Roosevelt Mall. When you think Roosevelt, of course, you think Teddy, but you also think Franklin Delano. FDR had 3 terms, the last 3-term president, like the Chiefs are attempting to become the first 3-peat team in NFL history. And when you think 3-peats, you think of Jordan and Kobe. We all know Kobe Bean Bryant equals 54, dead the Sunday before Mahomes went on this tear. Who coached Michael and Kobe? Phil Jackson, who has the same birthday as Patrick Mahomes, September 17th. When you think 3-peat, you think Pat Riley, another Patrick. And if you look up the man who actually coined the term 3-peat, believe it or not, in gematria, his name equates to 59. The man who coined the term 3-peat, his name equals 59. And here we are with Super Bowl 59. Just how scripted all of this stuff is. People being born for this. From the day that Mahomes was born, September 17th, 95, to the day that Kobe Bryant played his first NBA game, November 3rd, 96, exactly 59 weeks. Kobe's nickname, Black Mamba, equals 59. Of course, that's a snake, and here we are in the year of the snake. And what happened on the first day of the year of the snake this year? That was the day of the American Eagle crashing into the Black Hawk, and Black Hawk helicopters are named after Native American chiefs. The Black Hawk crashed into, this crash in the nation's capital.
Sikorsky helicopters.
Yeah.
They're named after, right.
Yeah, that was the first day of the year of the snake. And remember, Kobe, his death anniversary was 3 days earlier. I don't know if you saw what the Eagles put out on social media on the anniversary of his death, which was the day of the conference championships. The Eagles put out a drawing of a helicopter with a guy coming down a ladder going, "Let's go Eagles," on the anniversary of Kobe's death in a helicopter. But again, 3 days later, you get this helicopter tragedy in the nation's capital, as again, the Chiefs are trying to three-peat. They said 64 people were on the plane, 3 on the chopper, for a total of 67. If you run it forwards...
Kansas, right?
Say that again?
The plane was from Kansas, is that right?
The plane was from Wichita, Kansas, which is where Learjet is headquartered. Learjet's headquartered out of Wichita. Of course, the Learjet that crashed 2 days later in Philadelphia was heading to Missouri, where Kansas City is. And of course, Kansas City it's right on the border there of Kansas. But, again, 64 people on the plane, 3 on the chopper for a total of 67. In gematria, Kansas City Chiefs equals 64. Last year, they won the Super Bowl in their 64th season. Their owner, Norma Hunt, died just before the season on June 4th, 6-4, which is also the anniversary of the 49ers being established. And the Super Bowl ended up being Chiefs and Niners. The 67, if you run the alphabetic order in reverse with numerology, Kansas City alone equals 67. Last year, Joe Montana was 67 years old when the Chiefs won the Super Bowl. 67's the 19th prime. He wore 19 for the Chiefs. They were the first team to win back-to-back in 19 years. The guy who caught the game-winning score after it went to overtime, 19-19, was McCole Hardman, who caught his 19th career touchdown to win it. And if you even go back, I did a live stream of the entire Super Bowl. I started laughing at the beginning because I was explaining to people before the guys even took the field. I said, this whole game's going to be about 19. They literally had the first player take the field 19 minutes after the hour, and that was Deebo Samuel, who was still wearing number 19 last year. That's how scripted these games are. And you pay attention, this stuff goes on every year. They are paying tribute to numbers, time. It's truly all ritualism, and it is one big script. And then the sickest part of it all is how they continue to sacrifice people related to the games, former players, and almost nobody blinks an eye. Breaking news yesterday was that the Telemundo reporter for the Kansas City Chiefs just happens to die at age 27. The news broke yesterday that he had died for unknown reasons on Wednesday. Wednesday was February 5th, can be written 2-5 or 5-2. Dead at 27. The Chiefs' next all-time playoff win, which could come in the Super Bowl, will be their 27th. And if they win the Super Bowl, they'll be 5-2 in Super Bowls, kind of like how Kobe was 5-2 in championships. And there's also a piece here with Jesuit-educated Donald Trump, who got endorsed by Mahomes and his mother on Monday Night Football the night before Trump won the rigged election, which we told you years ago was going to happen, him coming back as Grover Cleveland. The term split terms, 132, like 132 rooms in the White House. Trump's second term begins 132 years after Grover Cleveland's. But anyhow, you had this ritual with Monday Night Football and also the Cleveland Cavaliers, also the Monday night before the election. But I told you, all those words that equal 47, president, government, authority, White House. If you run the opposite direction, all of those words also equal 52. They all have a 52-47 connection. So if the Chiefs win, they're going to be 5-2. Trump's back in office. Trump equals 25 like felon, our first felon president in the year 2025. Again, all of this stuff is one big joke, and there's a straight line that connects all these things, and it is the Jesuit Masonic Alliance. Again, all of the American sports are credited to Freemasons. Again, modern Freemasonry has a lot of its roots in Jesuits and Jesuit priests who wrote the rites. And just to make a point, Pope Francis equates to 59, and if you run it in reverse, 58. 59 and 58. We have Super Bowl 58 and 59 perfectly synced with the Pope. Again, 58 was on the Vatican's birthday. Pope Francis became a Jesuit in 1958. Don't forget that Benedict stepped down on the 59th day of the year for Pope Francis. Don't forget the 59th elections, the one that gave us number 46, 46 weeks after the Pope's birthday, when Catholic equals 46, going with the 46 books in the Catholic Old Testament. But again, now here you have Super Bowl 59, the 55th of the modern era, on the Pope's 55th day of his age. Pope, again, equals 52 as well, like how the Chiefs have a chance to become 5-2. Again, going with the 52-week calendar.
Can you confirm the Eagles' all-time combined record?
Oh, absolutely. I was saving that one for later. So the Eagles, right? So the Eagles kept the Commanders on 666 all-time wins, beating them in the conference championship. And in that game, they picked up their 666th win. And remember, that was on the anniversary of Kobe Bryant's death, the man who scored 81 points, his career high in his 666th game, when Mark of the Beast equals 81, just like Kobe being Bryant. In fact, Mark of the Beast and Kobe being Bryant both equal 81 and 54. And for the record, it also equals 144, like Jesuit order, another biblical number, the 144,000 chosen. Now, if the Eagles lose, they're going to stay on 666 wins, and they're also going to get their 666th franchise loss. And their record will become 17-4 for the year. If you spell out number of the beast as words, it equals 174. So their record's going to be 666 and 666 and 17-4 for the year. I'd encourage everyone to go back to last Saturday. We took advantage of it in our community. You had Texas Tech Mahomes School playing Houston as a severe underdog. Jalen Hurts is from Houston, the quarterback of the Eagles. We said, well, look at this. If Texas Tech upsets Houston, both schools are going to be 17-4, just like the number of the beast ritual riding on the game. And sure enough, Tech.
Real quick, Jalen Hurts, have you covered Jalen Hurts' birthday?
Jalen Hurts, his birthday is August 7th, correct? The day the Jesuits came out of suppression in history?
That's exactly right. August 7th, 1814 is when the Jesuits were resurrected.
And by the way, that was 144 days after James Madison's birthday, who was the sitting president at the time. Again, the United States of America equals 144 like Jesuit order. Just like how this year's election for Trump was 144 days after his birthday. In 2020, Georgetown simulated that Biden would win 144 days before the election. When Trump first became president back in 2017, he went to the Vatican and posed next to the Pope on the 144th day of the year. And on and on and on. There's certain numbers that are very repetitive to this order. For the record, New Orleans equals 144, also like Mark of the Beast. And Andy Reid began this season on 144 regular season wins with the Chiefs, if I'm not mistaken. It's either losses or wins, but he started with the 144 this year. If you've been watching the games this year, you've seen the State Farm ad with Andy Reid and Mahomes. Bundle-Rooski. And you can look up the exact spelling of that on their website. Bundle-Rooski. They say it over and over. Bundle-Rooski equals 145 in gematria, just like three-peat. Also like Ron Torbert, who is the ref of the Super Bowl, and the Super Bowl is 145 days after Mahomes' birthday. Something people might have missed is the weekend where the Commanders upset the Lions. That was a tribute to Daniel 6, where Daniel escapes the Lions' den unscathed. Jaden Daniels is the quarterback of the Commanders this year. Again, they picked up their 666th franchise win in that game. And sometimes it's hard because had the Commanders lost that game, they would have got their 616th franchise loss. And Daniel 616 is where Daniel gets put into the Lions' den. But of course, the story is that he leaves unscathed, like how they upset the Lions. Just about the biblical themes. The word Bible has gematria of 105 if you run the alphabetic order in reverse. This is the 105th NFL season. Revelation, when you run it in reverse with numerology, equals 59. So you have Philadelphia in there, named in Revelation 3. You have this 666 thing going on. Other ways they paid tribute to the Bible during this season. O.J. Simpson, before the season began, again, this is the 105th season, the year of Super Bowl 59. The name Simpson equals 105. He died 59 days after the last Super Bowl was played, Super Bowl 58, and his death was announced one day after he died at the same time the Masters was teeing off. Ephesians 6, verses 5 through 9 is about slaves obey your masters. Again, the word slave equals 59, like Negro, like blues, like Rasta, like how Motown came out in 59, like how Black History Month ends on the 59th day of the year, except for in leap years. If you run it in reverse, all of those words, slave, Negro, blues, Rasta, equals 76. OJ's announced dead at 76 as the Masters is teeing off. The word master also equals 76. Of course, he made his name with the Bills, mostly, and the 49ers, where he finished his career when he's from San Francisco. Keep in mind, San Francisco equals 76 as well, where the original Church of Satan was founded. But if you go to week 6, like Ephesians 6, and look at what happened in the NFL that week, the week began with the 49ers beating the Seahawks to give the 49ers their 666th franchise win to start week 6, winning their 6th straight versus the Seahawks. They won with 36 points. 666 is the 36th triangular number, meaning if you had 1 through 36 together, it equals 666. So the first game of the week was a 666 tribute in week 6 in tribute to OJ. The last game of the week was Monday Night Football, and the Bills won. So OJ's 2 teams that he played for won to start the week and end the week. And if you look, home teams did horrible that week. Home teams went 4-10 in week 6. What day did OJ Simpson die? 4-10, April 10th. When Josh Allen got eliminated last week by the Chiefs, he fell to 7-6 in the postseason. And all year they had him wear a glove as an OJ tribute. OJ and the glove. Johnny Cochran, Jesuit educated. When did he deliver that line? If it doesn't fit, you must acquit. He delivered that on September 27th, the anniversary of the Jesuits being recognized by the Roman Catholic Church, the day leaving 95 days left in the year to counter the 95 Theses. And keep in mind, the Vatican is going to be 95 years old. It turned 95 last year on the day of the Super Bowl. It'll turn 96 on February 11th, shortly after the season ends. But realize this first game of the season was a tribute to 95 as well. Baltimore equals 95. The Chiefs beat Baltimore in the opener on 9-5 to become 9-5 against them all time. There's been a lot of 95 stuff throughout the season. If you write out the phrase number of the beast, it also has a gematria, or excuse me, I take it back. If you write out 666, that's what it is. It equals 95. 666 equals 95. 95 weeks in a day is 666 days. So even the calendar has a 666 tribute in it associated with 95. 95 weeks in one day is 666 days. I can go on and on and on. Oh, here, one other 666 tribute they did during the season. It was also on Thursday Night Football with the Seahawks. Remember, Seattle is where the Beast Quake happened with Marshawn Lynch, who's another Bay Area guy where the Church of Satan happened. Seattle's on the 47th parallel, and the word beast equals 47. So Seattle this year, also on Thursday Night Football, gave the Bears their 666th franchise loss. And there were big bird flu stories in Seattle and a smaller one in Chicago at the time of that game. Bird flu has this connection as well. It's a whole other thing. They put that number, that 666, all over the pandemic, if you recall. There were signs everywhere. Stand 6 feet apart, 6 feet apart. The first pandemic simulation was exactly 666 days before it was declared. But in the game where the Bears got their 666th loss, the score was 3-6. Again, 666. The 36 triangular number. So they've been doing this biblical theme a lot this year with games, and it's not to say they haven't done this in sports before, but it's been just, I've never seen a whole bunch of 666 rituals in any one season until this year, the year of the 105th season, where again Bible equals 105, and again Super Bowl 59, where Revelation has the 59 connection, and it all being synced up with the Pope, who's the head of essentially the whore of Babylon. So
what do you think of?
I'm ready for the Superb Owl.
Superb Owl.
Yeah.
Never look at Super Bowl the same ever again. We'll be back with more Morning Rush.
We are coming on the air with breaking news out of Washington.
Right now, officials in Kansas holding a press conference to talk about that deadly flight.
The plane was headed from Wichita to D.C. when it collided with that Black Hawk.
helicopter. Let's listen in.
Bullets fly like American Eagle. Airlines are lethal. I leave you where the skylights need you. Right on time, what I write draws a flight schedule for what lies beneath you. Ayo, that's helicopters. Don't get intercepted by black helicopters. Copy that, Roger. As we dodge the Tommy Knockers and law officers. Incognito, carrying metal like Magneto. These shots sting like West Nile mosquitoes. Hypothermic needles laced with poison molecules used to inject people. Dead on arrival, breaking news titles, the article. No survivors, just a loud bang. Guess that makes it a God particle. For the bag, I'm ghost. Revenge is justified for most. Off into the smoke, I drip into the mist of Count Monte Cristo. I take charge like the head general Pope. Follow the 33rd runway up the road. Bed leads to Rome. Conspiracies I don't condone. The truth my oath, so I walk alone. No media propaganda can cause my prop gun to jam up. These pro-pagan damages, TMC with these cameras. Military plant amateurs. States collisions, explosion, look mannequin. Cali's up in flames. Since when this fire started with wind, I'm prepared for war in these times we're in. What's with this pilot? Why was he dozing off and couldn't open his eyelids? All these sacrifices, why are the elite always silent? You'll find the answers if you study Osiris and the stars follow Orion. There's more to dying, don't let life be mortifying. I stand above the horizon, unterrified, just ducking lightning. The grand rising, my spacecraft is hard to identify with when I'm flying with no license. Objects are surprising, scientists are hiding information with the tyrants. I alarm fire hydrants as I'm wildin'. Match the Congress, it's the concept, map our conquest. Bomber jacket and a cigar lit for action. Keep your seatbelt fastened, the paper planes are crashing. It's tragic, everything that allegedly happened. Don't make it obvious, I know it was no accident. Alert the masses, my aerial assault is savage. Acting stupid like I got a steward's checking a stewardess. I'm out this bitch. I got a trip I can't miss. Damn, I'm running late. See you at the gate.
This is an all-out extreme emergency at Reagan Airport, and the water's just off of it here in Washington, D.C. We've now got confirmed reports that American Eagle Flight 5342, operated by TSA, it is a regional jet carrying between 50 and 100 people, from Wichita into Reagan Airport, was hit or was involved in a mid-air collision involving apparently an Army helicopter. That is reported to be a Black Hawk helicopter of some make and model.